Honk.
Hey, I've heard that honk before. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, Arvocalists. Welcome back to a Tuesday night stream. It is our monthly Tuesday night soiree with the talented group that we like to call the Arvocalists, as we are back with Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. I'm happy to say that it is because of our incredible voice work that has been done on this channel with this game over the last couple of years that Capcom has heard our plea and is doing an HD remaster completely based upon our event. I'm happy to say that I'm glad that Capcom felt that we were important enough to do this and all that. I'm sure, even though they have not actually confirmed any of this, nor have I ever spoken to them, I'm sure that that's part of the reason why that they did that. Anyway, it's a pleasure to have everybody here. Good to see you all again. Obviously, I was here earlier on with playing some cool stuff with Fighting Fantasy Gamebook stuff with Tari, and then some fun with Chained Echoes, which got very intense over on GOG.com Pen and Pixels. And now we're finishing up tonight with a little bit of the Arvocalists, Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. I'm going to go through this quick because you've already heard this before earlier today. If you haven't already done so, please follow the channel. Please check out our YouTube with !ArvTube, Discord with !ArvCord, Twitter with !ArvTweets, website arvanelaron.com, financially !ArvShop for the merchandise area, with Little Arv having done a wonderful job on that storefront. More to come. !ArvTrayon is the Patreon, which is the financial backbone of the channel. Makes a real difference for both you and for the channel if you can support that, so please do. Subbing and resubbing to the channel is always appreciated, and you can get inspirations to help the players through that and through our Patreon support, so please consider doing that. You can also get those custom sub badges and emotes to use everywhere across Twitch. And if you have not already done so, please consider supporting us on the publishing side as well. Grayshade for my Grayshade novel from Athos Arts. That also allow you to pre-order the sequel to Grayshade, Renegade, coming out later this year, coming out actually next month. And then Heretic, which is coming out next year, the tabletop role-playing game of Grayshade from Alligator Alley with Brandon O'Brien as the lead designer. That comes out late this year. You can pre-order that. And you can also order a copy of the audio book by Trent Sparks of Grayshade. So all of that's available with Grayshade. Icarus for my graphic novel from Athos Arts, and Library, Tales and Tomes in the Forbidden Library, my 5e adventure and sourcebook from Alligator Alley Entertainment. And as always, BLM, Black Lives Matter, important to affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And Ukraine, Ukraine, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage. Now, a couple of quick notes about schedule. This is it for us for tonight. We'll be off Wednesday and Thursday. We'll be back Friday night with Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks. And then on Saturday, Eberron, Oracle of War. So we have a tabletop weekend coming up for you. Next week on Tuesday, I will be playing the Patreon-fueled Chat Chosen Game of the Month, which is the Pale Beyond, I believe it is, which I will be getting from GOG. So that is what chat has decreed. We'll do that next week. And then over on Twitch TV's, GOG.com's Twitch TV channel, we'll be doing some Talisman Adventures in the afternoon. So that'll be a good time for Tuesday. And then on Friday, so a week from this Friday, we will have Valorword again, as I will be stepping back into the role of Carevis Diorencio. And I will not be here on Saturday because I will be winging my way to the Pacific Northwest with my family. We're going to be out there with in-laws. I'll be back the week after that with some remote streams. 2 weeks, basically, I'll be out in the Pacific Northwest, and then I'll be heading back to the East Coast. So that is the plan over the next couple of weeks. I'm excited for all of that, and I hope you folks are too, but I'm excited today for one of my favorite experiences, and that is playing some Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. So I am unmuting myself so the folks know we're ready to go. I apologize for having interrupted them, as I may well have done because I can't hear them. And then I'm going to unmute them. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to head over to reveal the crew. Now, you may notice there's a bit of a difference in the crew. You may notice that Rem has gotten a little younger, now has blonde hair. No, none of that's true. But Rem is not joining us today because has a schedule conflict. Will be back with us next month. But we have a well-suited replacement who happens to be done with school, and we will introduce that person in just a moment. First of all, though, I will start with the first person in the column on the screen anyway, and that is one Mr. Zach Clay, the busiest man in show business. How's everything going with you, Zach? I know you've got a bunch of stuff going on, as we've talked about. How's life in the universe with you, sir?
Life in the universe is good. There's a lot going on, but it's all good, fun stuff, and I'm working on it and eating good food. Good food helps. You know, it helps when you have your break time. You're like, wow, this is great. um,
It's
I
a
don't
very
know.
specific kind of thing.
Yeah, I
Actually,
don't know. I mean, it's like nothing like having to work a whole bunch. There's one thing, you know, being very busy in today's world, and then you get your lunch break or whatever, and then you're eating terrible food or food that just doesn't hit the spot, and you're like, wow, everything sucks.
right?
It just sets the tone for the whole day. But if you have like a nice pasta, or you take a little walk and you have just a tiny bit of ice cream, midday summer ice cream, that's some good stuff right there.
This is a
May or
very
may not.
specific kind of note. It feels like to me,
Yeah,
like this
no,
just happened to me recently. Note.
this just may have happened to me just today. May have gone on a little summer walk about the town and had a bit of ice cream. I don't know, what can I say? I like to live a little. So no, that's me, and I'm excited to continue voicing and try to finish this case in Ace Attorney, because we have a certain HD remaster that's coming, and we need
I think we'll be done before that. I'm not that worried about that.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We geez, in the remainder of the year, if we play once a month, we have what, 6 sessions left?
Yeah, it's true.
And one of those at least is going to be the Christmas special.
Christmas Carol. That's true. So basically 5 equivalent of months that we do. Oh yeah, I may have mentioned that, KP, but we
mentioned it.
Yeah, that's the big Arvocalists event every year is the Christmas Carol is a big part of the experience here, but
yep.
But so anyway, that's true. We'll see.
I'm excited, and I'm excited to get all of the characters introduced now in kind of the investigation section, and then eventually get to the courtroom. But we'll see.
Well, we should be able to get. I'm pretty sure we're in the courtroom pretty soon after we start. I think we did a lot of investigation last time, so I think we got some court work.
Yeah, before we almost deleted everything.
No, there wasn't an almost. That was.
Yeah, that was just a straight out actual. Is what actually happened. I'm still try to block it out of my memory. Anyway, I have learned my lesson. It will never happen again. But always a pleasure to have Zach with us. And yes, since KP's at the bottom of the row as I'm looking at it, I'm going to come to the next person here who is stepping in for Rem today. And that is, of course, little Arv, who is now, let me just be clear, not only is my daughter a, light of my life, my heart, wonderful child, amazing kid. Not only is all that true, this person is also a top honors student, just having finished her freshman year of high school. And one of the programs that she did work in radio plays, and also has been trained by no less than the esteemed Zachary Clay as a voice teacher. So she is well prepared for this, I think. I just could not be happier to have her with us. And school's out, which means she can stay up later. That's the other thing. So, hi, An. Are you excited for this event?
Yeah, I mean, you basically summarized everything, so I have nothing to say here. He wants to show me off. Yeah, I am excited to be able to stay up late and not have to be sent off in the middle of the stream.
Sent off like a soccer match. All right, you get off. The yellow card. It's going to be great, and I'm very excited to have her with us again. Also, it's a game that I also feel comfortable. Like Citizen Sleeper, I think both of you, the two other adults here, would agree with me, was maybe not the most. There were aspects of this that might not have been suitable for children, really, ish.
It was very esoteric. We've done worse.
But I mean, let's recall there's an incident that happens.
There's all sorts of incidents. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, By the way, Citizen Sleeper 2 just announced, incidentally, on the Summer Games Fest, by the way. Wow. So, yep, new lead and all that. So, wanted to bring that up because that is something we found out about. But anyway,
Does that mean we need to actually beat the game?
I guess well, we kind of did, except for the DLCs, right? I guess we'll have to think about that.
Well,
right.
Yeah, no, I remember we were talking about beating the game, possibly meaning getting off the getting off the ring.
Right.
That was one of the options.
We stopped
because we chose
with Credence because we reached credits.
Right, we reached credits. It was
yeah.
legit. Like it wasn't, it does count one way or the other. But anyway, so it's very good to have my darling child with us. And last but certainly not least, KP, it is good to see you. I am happy to have you back. Speaking of, I shouldn't have assumed busiest man in show business, because this is another extremely busy person in show business who does all kinds of cool stuff now. And I'm just going to ask you, what am I at liberty to mention now and not mention about things you have out and not out? KP, I want to make sure I'm not talking out of school about stuff. Like, what do you?
I have everything out at this point, I think. So
okay.
I'm happy to mention once again. I think we talked about it actually last.
We might have talked about it last
time. Wait, or not?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. No, you talked with us about it. I think.
That's right.
But didn't publicly announce
it.
Well,
I'm happy. I'm happy and proud to, thank you for reminding me, proud to announce that the book that I did the co-narration for is out. The book is called A History of Burning by Janika Oza. It is fantastic. It is phenomenal. It is a book that I'm very, very proud about. One of the most difficult projects I've ever done, but also the most fulfilling. If you want to read a book about just, I don't know, it's a very deep book, very, very well written. And I just had a huge privilege of being a part of it. And if you want, it's up on all of your Audible websites or audio websites that you can find audiobooks at. But the one I know for a fact it's on is Audible. If you go there, you could actually have a 4-minute voice sample from the book, and that voice sample is me. So if you want to go check that out and look it up and listen to it, you can then decide whether or not you want to get the book. You can be like, nah, this guy's shit. Holy crap, he sucks. That's up to you. Feel free to do so.
Thanks,
but you know what? Still buy the book because you're supporting a POC crew.
There you go. And Triffid has just put the link up actually to the Audible thing.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yep, Triffid has just put the link up there, so that's up there.
Thank you.
It's good stuff, and congratulations. It's it sounds like I did have a chance to listen to some of it, and it is pretty cool. So congratulations. It's a really cool thing to have on the resume as you move forward with stuff. So yeah.
Appreciate it.
So yeah, so we're ready to go, folks. I think, and continue with Apologists to Say Saturni. You may remember that right at the end of our last session, it got a little weird. We met someone really weird.
Could I have a fill-in on what happened?
Jeez, can you have a fill-in on what happened? So
listen, I didn't get any fill-in. I think we could just jump straight into it and
you're right.
deep end.
Let's be fair.
That's true, and probably part of that is
how do.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, how did all dads teach us how to swim? They just push us into a 5-foot end of the pool and say, "Oh, all right, swim. You can do this."
And those who didn't survive never got
that's
here.
How I learned. So.
Yeah. Those who didn't survive didn't get here. So
yeah, listen. Yeah. Hey, process of elimination.
Did you know it's an actual thing with swimming instructors?
Do it again.
That's like an actual thing with swimming instructors, where like it's a thing when they're a baby.
Oh yeah.
They'll toss the baby into the pool, and if the baby floats, they're like, "Okay, the baby's good." That's an actual. I've seen videos of it.
What the What?
They just toss the baby in.
Mm-hmm.
Whee!
Yep.
I feel like we need to take up a complaint there, but geez.
See, so there's the line. Now we found the line. Babies, no. Kids, fine. Babies, not so much.
We could probably just continue, and then I think, because I'm even having trouble remembering, but I think when we talk to certain characters and go to certain places, we'll start to remember, like, oh, okay, this is from that's from this,
And they will also probably explain it to us 5 times over, and we'll probably be like, yes, we get it. So,
yes.
The game will be like, wait, you want us to recap? We'll be like, no, so we'll see how this goes.
Not again.
Exactly. Okay, turnabout succession. Resume your game. From this point, yes.
Oh, God.
The game is very loud.
Yes. Yep. Sorry.
Okay. Just making sure.
Oh, that guy.
Yes.
That guy. Oh, God. I forgot about him.
I actually kind of don't want to know what I missed.
He creeps me out.
Okay, that should be better. How's the volume now for everybody?
Good.
A little.
I see it. Yeah. It looks good.
I could go down a little bit more.
How's that?
That's nice.
All right, that's good. How chat? How's audio? I know it is definitely true that we got.
That seems suboptimal. Wait, no, that's not about that.
That wasn't about that. Yeah, decent amount of crackling on sound-wise, KP, from yours when you're talking. That I don't know that that's internet. That may be like just a Zoom compatibility thing. I don't know. Not, you know, we're just gonna keep going with it for now. But if as we're going along you're able to fiddle or something, that would be lovely. Okay, so we spoke to this guy. I think we've spoken to him about everything. Right, his
Spark Brushel.
Spark Brushel, right. So he's a reporter. And the person who's allegedly responsible, is this person who's super quiet and supposedly is responsible for killing her artist father, except of course there's all kinds of suggestions that that's not actually accurate. And we've been given the case by Phoenix like the day before it's supposed to start. Like, I think is basically what that comes down to. So, yeah. So, I think if we go back to Write Anything Agency... Right, there's Phoenix. Sunshine Coliseum? No. Drew Studio? Aha! Okay, perfect. That usually means that we've got something that we have to do here. So, I almost forgot my Law and Order sound.
Forget it.
I know, hold on.
Yeah. You should just add it to your stream deck. Like
I should. Yeah, you're right, actually. Why didn't I think of that?
But it cannot be the actual Law and Order. It can't be the original soundtrack. It just needs you to be you going dun dun
dun dun dun dun.
That's it. Just a recording of that, and you just press a button.
Yeah, I should 100% do that. Like, intro
that
dun dun. It has HD lyrics. Lyrics? It's just dun dun. Okay. Okay, good. That's wonderful.
Now that I think about it, what is that?
I think it sounds like two like pounding on a pipe or something. Bing, bing.
No, really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
think so.
In like a tunnel, maybe.
It's true. Could be.
That's interesting. I'm gonna look that up someday.
Okay, so October 7th, Drew Studio. Okay, so here's Emma. Whoops, sorry.
Here's Emma. Dun dun.
Oh man. Okay, so Emma's a scientist. I don't know if we had. Do we have you playing this, KP? And are we gonna? I don't remember who was playing this.
It was me.
It was you. So
yeah.
Should we keep it that way? And then have, because I'm trying to remember what Rem was doing.
We could.
Well.
Rem was your assistant. Rem was the
it was Trucy.
magician girl.
Okay,
Yeah.
it was
What was her
Trucy.
name?
Okay,
We
so
could
we'll have
keep
you
it
stick
that
with
way.
Trucy for
Yeah.
now. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, KP.
Yep.
So then this is you.
All right. Well, how did it go? Find anything out?
Actually, there was one thing I wanted to check with you.
Did I come through? No.
Yes.
You did.
What's with that scary face you're making?
And what's with the I know something but I'm not telling face you've got going, Emma? Let's find out by talking to Emma. All right. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, we have to present something to her.
I see.
Her.
Mail? No.
Shoot.
That's the trouble. It's been a month.
Stamp?
We're like, what?
Get the grammary envelope.
We're just digging through our bag like, whose stuff is this?
Emma, I was wondering if you could take a look at this.
Look, I'm a detective. A detective.
There we go.
Did I not speak? I spoke.
You did. There's a big. I think there's a big delay.
Yeah,
is what's
there's
happening.
like a 3-second delay. That's all. But you're good.
Okay.
Just go ahead.
Damn it. You can't just ask me any old thing and expect an answer, okay? I think you need to be a little more focused in your inquiries. Scientific, even.
Somehow I knew she'd get around to science. Okay, that's a nice way of saying no, not this. How about this business card?
How condescending.
No, never mind. Never mind.
Coffee cup.
Oh, she's gonna say something.
Nah, it's the same thing.
The offer,
Yeah,
you
is
offer her
that
the
one?
poison coffee cup, and she's like, "Ooh, coffee, thanks." Drinks it.
I'm a detective. A detective.
Yeah.
Okay, coffee mug.
Aha. Something new.
Oh, are we gonna
we
test?
already-
Are we gonna test it for poison again?
Why not? Just to be sure.
But you found your clue already. Isn't that enough? This stuff isn't cheap, you know.
I bet she doesn't have a lot of spending money.
I bet she spends it all on snackoos. Oh, burn! Let's go. Okay, so that's
So-
no.
Interesting.
Did we do the stamp already? Show her the stamp?
The stamp. Oh, on this thing? No, we may not have.
Yeah, like as the picture frame with the
Oh, this thing. The tiny frame.
Mm-hmm.
Ha! The tiny frame. Oh,
Nope.
take a look at this.
Okay.
All right. How about the stamp?
Yeah.
But we just did the X-ray detection thing.
Listen, Trucy, we're trying to remember what happened. Okay, it was a month ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
oh, right. Sorry. Okay. Painting. This painting came from behind that dresser.
Ah. Oh, it didn't come through yet. No. Ah, yes. So,
It was stolen, no?
I was hoping you wouldn't figure that out.
Aha, progress. Do you think you could tell us a bit about this?
Woo! I suppose. It's what you think. Which is
Oh,
Drew Nisham was a forger.
a forger.
A forger?
Then he deserved his death. No. Oh, now, okay. Now we should be able to talk
yeah.
to her about being a forger. Yeah, forger.
Uh-huh.
So, what exactly is a forger?
Someone who forges swords with the power of... No. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, 1 second. It's becoming very slow on my end.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's really?
Emma's a
I may
very
need to
slow
jump off
talker,
and go
guys.
back to my apartment.
Yeah, I don't want to keep your
Yeah.
poor... Yeah. Maybe. It just is... I don't know.
But let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead and finish this.
Well, basically, it's someone who makes forgeries. No shit, Emma. Thank you. Fakes, in other words.
Fakes? Still trying to figure out how to
Copies of an original.
It's just gonna keep going. It's just gonna keep going. Trucy's gonna ask, "What's an
All
original?"
right.
Well, once you finish this, I think
Exact
maybe you might
copies.
suspect
So precise, you can't tell them apart.
apart? No. Well,
All
why
right,
not just
guys.
photocopy
I'm
it?
gonna go. How about this? If you don't mind, I'm gonna go back to a place where I can get better internet.
Okay.
In the meantime, if you want to, I'm happy to have Emma be voiced by by you. So sorry, what was your name again?
Zach.
No.
Zach, yeah, of course, yeah, Zach. You can, yes, please.
Yes,
Probably-
Please be as condescending as I'm trying to be.
it's
But yeah, because I feel like I'm
Little
affecting the
arf.
quality of our stream today. So
Okay.
I'm going to be
Okay.
I'm going to be right back. let me go back and in the meantime, you guys continue.
Okay.
Sorry about this, guys.
Cool.
That's okay.
All good.
Okay. Talk to you later.
So,
I'm honestly struggling how to do Trucy's voice.
I think you're doing fine with it,
Without
actually.
making it sound like me.
No, I think it's fine. Okay, so
Sometimes
KP will be right
characters
back
do sound
with us.
like you.
Okay, so go ahead with this. We'll have I guess I'll pick up on Emma since I'm or you can pick up on
Yeah.
her. I guess
'Cause
that's
then you have to do Apollo.
yeah, I
so.
have to do Apollo, that's true. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Well, why not just photocopy them? The big problem with forgeries
Oh.
is that
Oh, you want? Okay, never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, actually, yeah,
misunderstood.
no, it actually makes sense because Zach's not doing anything in this
no,
scene.
yes, okay.
So yeah, go
Okay.
ahead, Zach. Sorry.
All right. Yeah, it was my line.
Sorry. Listen, I'm following the boss.
Yeah.
right?
Oh no, fair enough. Is that people try to sell them as the real article?
Hey, Drew, what's up?
It's a crime, of course.
So Drew Misham was.
A criminal? I'm afraid so.
Smooth criminal.
Mhm. He received money to create elaborate forgeries
Forgeries? Fakes. Stop.
to supplement his work in illustration, I guess.
I see.
I'm giving my best, Valley Girl scientist.
Yeah.
If you can catch it.
No,
Okay, cool.
yep.
Actually, she's just eating her snackoos. That's all. That's why I brought this here in the first place.
What do you mean?
What if Anima is just like a murderer? Like she's just setting up
Like,
crime scenes.
exactly.
Just like this
Oh yeah,
knife.
that's why I was here. Yeah, that's why I brought this knife with blood on it.
Yeah.
Doki Doki Literature Club, but
mhm.
Apollo.
Right.
Yes. When you're trying to determine if a painting's a forgery, the rough sketch underneath can be a valuable clue.
So the rough sketch is like a practice for the real thing. Yes, Trucy, God. Like doing a magic trick in front of the mirror before you go on stage.
But not in the case of a forgery. Not necessarily, anyway. You know what the finished product's going to look like after all.
Oh, yeah, I guess you would.
That's why I brought this knife. Oh.
To remove you as threats.
Going to use it to see what's under the paint of the finished pieces.
I get it now. It only took 3 times.
Yep. Not that I really needed to go to such lengths. Seeing as how one of the paintings was only half finished anyway.
Still, it'd be really neat to see Mr. Misham's rough sketches. Kind of like what he was drawing when he thought no one was looking.
True. That would be interesting. And maybe valuable for our case.
You should try buttering her up, Apollo. Flattery will get you anywhere, they say. Everywhere.
Maybe I should ask Emma to help us out. Emma's a really kind, appropriate sort. She's totally willing. All right, you gotta help us out.
With
My question is, how did she get that giant thing in here all by herself?
Seriously.
she's got big muscles under that trench coat. Trench coat? Lab coat.
Help us out! Emma, about this painting from behind the dresser there.
Ah, yes. It's what you think.
Oh,
yeah.
Drew
A
Misham,
forger?
a forger.
What's
Okay.
a forger?
all right. How about
Forger is.
um?
Oh, what? Yeah, that one. Right.
This?
Nope. To the left. Yep.
Oh,
that
because
has a
they're half
sketch over it.
finished. Yeah. I kind of wanted to see the rough sketch under this painting, and I was wondering if your tool there might do the trick.
Oh, fine. Fine. Just this time, though.
Let's check it out.
Oh, minigame.
Oh.
That's not even a sketch. Okay. What are we? What?
Scanning. Oh, that's right. We're doing the.
What?
This is the thing. Remember that, like.
What is this?
There you go.
We're just getting into the rhythm of it now.
I think you have to stop at a layer and then like etch a sketch it out and then stop at a layer.
Oh, yeah. This is exactly how these machines work.
It's exactly. Just in real life, they use this game to do the training in the medical facilities. Not in medical, in forgery facilities.
Totally. Forgery facilities. Forgeries?
What are forgeries?
Fakes?
Forgeries?
Already looking at it, though, it didn't look like it was fake. I could tell from the sketch underneath.
What is going on here? P.
I like that it's like, there it is. I'm like, there is what?
KP says he's...
Yep.
There we go. Oh.
It's turning into something. The Eiffel Tower.
Turning into something.
Best kids game out there.
There we go.
Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Oh yeah.
Much better.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
I told you.
In real time.
Yeah. Look at that. All of a sudden, he's
Back
like,
to you,
"Welcome, code
live."
45."
Back to you in HD.
And you know what? I think your crackle might be gone.
The crackle's gone too.
I knew it was the internet.
Cross my fingers.
Yep. I'm sorry though, KP. I know that's not convenient for reasons we talked about.
No, it's fine. I appreciate it though.
Okay, we are doing we found out that Drew Misham is indeed a forger. And we found out that Drew Misham is a forger and are now using Emma's machine to like look at the half-finished sketch under one of the paintings. So that's basically what we're...
even as a painter, he's a forger.
Yes. And the theory was maybe to like help pay for his illustrations. And I'm like, nonsense. Artists are always well paid. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, that little stare that little Arv did tells me everything.
Laugh so you don't cry. What's up, Critch? Okay. All right, back to KP with Emma.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's print this one out. That man's on fire.
It's the guy. No, it's the guy from. Remember the last case where it was just constant. There's this whole thing about a guy being set on fire. It's a long story.
Oh.
What?
Interesting.
What the heck?
Wow, he really blows. The finished painting isn't anything like the rough.
What?
Devices like mine didn't exist until recently. He probably thought he could draw any sort of thing he wanted to for the rough.
What do you mean?
Well, in the past, you could only analyze the composition of a rough sketch.
Composition?
Fakes?
Here we
Forgery?
Forgeries?
In other words, the traces of charcoal between paint and canvas. So, you could tell if there had been a rough sketch, but not what it looked like.
Ah, I think I follow you. So in essence, it wouldn't matter what was underneath the finished painting.
Some pros would actually paint out a rough sketch entirely. Then do a completely new painting on top of that. That seems like a lot of wasted effort.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, they might change their mind. So, Mr. Misham was drawing whatever he wanted before painting over them?
Terrible forger.
Possibly.
I was gonna say.
Possibly. Is there a problem with that?
Not particularly, but something about the sketch itself is kind of sketchy. Hey-o!
Hey!
You're awfully silent all of a sudden, Apollo.
Just made a great joke, Druzy. You think we could check out one of the other paintings?
Well, sure. You like this detection stuff, don't you?
Absolutely. Okay. Boom.
Can I just say I'm very proud of not mispronouncing it by saying you like this detective stuff because that just seems more logical there.
Yeah, exactly.
I was actually gonna
Detection
I was
stuff.
actually gonna say, like, this definitely seems like forgery because the styles of every single painting are very different. Like,
Right.
sure, artists try different styles, but all different styles, they're all done so well, they're not gonna be that well done if you're trying new things.
Yeah, like I said, he's a horrific forger. Like, that's really the lesson here is just, Did not put the work in Forgery 101. Like, not
Right.
that happening.
Probably got an F.
Yeah, exactly. I'm waiting, Chris. One of these pictures is just going to be a picture of like a clown face with Darth Vader like over him or something horrific. Like just be like, I think we found a new one, Apollo. What do you think?
What is that even?
That okay? See, that painting though is also from one of the earlier cases. There's the guy actually had like that's very weird. Anyway,
Everything is connected.
yes, exactly.
Okay, let's print this one out.
What's up, Bruno? Right, just do one over it. Yeah, because of canvas. Yeah.
I love the juxtaposition of KP's observation of like everything's connected. Okay, let's print this one out.
This one too.
Jesus Christ.
What's wrong, Apollo? You look so serious all of a sudden.
I suddenly had a thought about the effect of climate change on the oceans, Trucy, and I became very... you think I could just look at the last of these?
Fine by me. Knock yourself out.
I'd rather not.
It's where you find a note. Help me. I was murdered by...
By
Brush
Emma.
Sparkle. Yeah, by Emma. I'm being
It
held
was all
hostage.
her.
Emma's keeping me trapped inside this painting. Please help.
Wait, actually, hear me out. What if, what if all of these, like, sketch paintings are clues to how they died?
Interesting. Like every painting has been from a previous case.
Like,
Go ahead,
first
Zach.
they were-
Yeah.
Listen, it's not a clue until you see a blue pop print on it, okay? That's the only time you know it's a clue.
Quite accurate. Quite
Uh-huh.
accurate.
I mean, obviously these aren't forgeries at all. This is someone originally painting over something, or someone sketching out these cases or these crime scenes.
And this is case number 1. This is with the cards.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So weird.
Although, the real
Everything's connected. I told you.
Unreal.
Okay, let's print this one out.
Everything's connected. Let's print it out. What the heck is all this?
I hesitate to ask why you're getting so excited.
And it's going to take them 20 minutes to figure out that those are sketches of this.
You sure your device isn't leaking some kind of strange radiation?
Yes, thanks, Trucy. That's not the problem.
Yeah.
Trucy, look at these 3 sketches. Do you notice anything?
No, just kidding. Oh, yeah. I remember now. Ah, they're.
That's right, Trucy. They're pictures.
Now you're both white as sheets. What's going on?
These sketches are of the 3 cases I worked on.
What?
The murder in the poker room at the Borscht Bowl Club. The dead man pulling the noodle stand.
That one was kind of scary.
And then
Only Apollo Justice.
the events that transpired during the Gaviners concert, which we heard about 750 consecutive times. Hey, Mrs. Dunsel.
What could it mean? How could he have painted those things? And why?
There's only one answer. He is the future man. That's what I want to know.
Wait, is Drew Mission
A god?
your father?
Wait,
Give me a break.
what?
Luke, I am your father.
or anything else related to that? Does that seem even remotely possible to you? I'd never even heard of any Drew Mission before. I hadn't even seen a picture of him. But there were my cases drawn on his canvas. Every single one of them. It couldn't have been a coincidence. Just who was this Drew Mission? And what did he have to do with me?
Oh.
Turns on the back of every single case. Oh, wait, no.
To be continued.
Oh, we finished it. Well, we didn't technically finish it, but
Okay, I'm saving our progress.
yes, thank
Yes.
you.
No.
We're saving it. Overwrite. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Critchwitch. Oop. October 8th, 9:48 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 6.
Yay.
This is our client, Little Arv. And she's little, yeah, quiet. Good morning.
Didn't we already meet her?
You're Vera, right? I'm Trucy. Trucy Wright. That's right with a W. But not right, right? We're on your side. You can tell us anything. Please?
Who do we have playing, Vera? Was it Rem? Or was it,
was me as well.
Was it you, KP?
I think this was me as well. Like the quiet characters.
I think you probably got that. So we'll have you do this. When we get into court, Zach is going to be the judge here. So
Yeah.
the judge is coming up. All right.
Good morning.
Oh,
Oh no, this is our first time speaking.
she
Never mind.
speaks.
Not bad, not bad. But I think you do better with a little smile, you know?
All right, Trucy, we have to talk about the whole not telling someone to smile more. That's
Yeah.
Smiles.
Oh, no.
You're never
Oh,
fully
no.
dressed without a smile. You're so pretty. You need to sell yourself, you know?
No.
Just like my dad
no.
always said, you're never fully dressed without a smile.
Trucy did this all on her own. This misogyny came from society. Trucy, let's take it easy for starters. Okay, good. I'm glad the game sort of reins that in. Like, yo. What?
Oh.
Whoa.
Thank you for taking my case.
Why
She's
does
happy.
Why does it have
It's
her
an
signature?
orange.
Why does it have
It's-
Mitram?
Well, because that's her last name. Yeah, she's his daughter.
Oh.
I don't
okay.
understand the bear
Wait,
part.
look at
though.
her facial expression.
I just,
She's
just
like,
like, hello.
I'm happy.
Here it was. I thought she was a good artist. It's a side.
Okay. Well, that's a start, I guess. There she goes with the nail polish again.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Really, it's so cultured.
I just realized it's a nail polish bottle. I thought it was a statue, but it's a bottle.
Did you
Want to
do
try?
exactly the same drawing again? Like,
Yep.
Ooh, really? Girls.
Oh, that's
that's me, and I'm going to just skip over that. Sigh. I'm just going to sigh.
oh.
The victim, Drew Misham, was a forger, and a stolen painting was found in his studio. A life of crime, really, and maybe one that led to his death.
Dun dun.
Sorry.
October 8th, 10 o'clock a.m., District Court. Courtroom, number 3. A little bit of courtroom in my life. All right,
Yay.
this is where we all go, hush, 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 hush. Whenever you see the crowd,
up.
it's just like, and shut up is a holdover from Tren. All right, Dick.
Yes, this is tradition. Well, we will now.
Rudinell, Truciogeny, misogyny to you. Exactly, Rudinell.
Begin the trial of Vera Misham.
The heck is wrong with him?
Is the judge okay? His voice is all raspy, and he's looking around all nervous like.
Raspy voice, got it. The repercussions of today's trial will most likely be felt for a long time.
Suddenly he's like, stay a while and listen.
Yes, and may indeed alter our legal system forever.
Now we get Clavier. Now Clavier is the prosecuting attorney who is also a rock star. So, and Clavier is basically, he's German and is very much like, you've got to rock out, baby, type of thing, right? Like, so he's that kind of
And
thing.
he's essentially directly opposed to the main character.
Yes.
in this book.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait, is that me?
I would think so, because I'm the
yeah.
judge.
Yep.
Oh, I have the most terrible German accent. Okay.
Well, you just, it's like rocking out, man. You know, like,
Yeah, you don't have to do German. You
Okay.
can
All right. Okay.
take it where you want.
All right. Okay. All right. Today is a test of the jurist system,
Oh God.
and the first step towards a new order in this court fine. You told me to rock out.
You did. Everyone in the chat's like, yeah.
Daddy's secret mission.
The jurist will function like a jury.
Jury?
Function like a jury.
It is hoped their inclusion will help the court to better reflect the people's will.
Why aren't there any jurists in the courtroom?
Three closed circuit cameras watch this courtroom at all times. The jurors have access to everything that transpires. Yeah. Jurists, judge well and judge cool.
Now, see here, Prosecutor Gavin. I was going to say that.
My apologies, Judge.
Jurists, today, judge today's trial coolly, if you would be so kind.
Oh, sigh. The jurists are unbound by the letter of the law. They don't affect the trial with evidence, but by their feelings. My God, it's like 2023 America. And we're about to find out just what effect they're going to have.
Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. The details of the case, if you would.
The victim is the painter Drew Wesham. He was killed in his own studio, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to add a little German in there.
Oh, right, yeah.
His coffee was poisoned. And by whom, you ask? By none other than the defendant, Wesham.
Objection! There wasn't any poison in the coffee.
Someone who has been doing their homework. Indeed, poison was not present in the coffee, but on the mug itself.
The mug. Ah, residue was found on the rim, I see.
Now you're getting it.
The autopsy report describes the manner of the victim's death.
The court accepts this as evidence.
Misham's autopsy report added to the court record. Okay.
According to this report, the victim's death was caused by atroquinine poisoning.
A chemical compound that does not occur naturally. Lethal dosage is merely 0.002 mg.
For a minute, it froze for a second, and I thought it was lethal dosage is a mere zero. I'm like, what? Lethal dosage is it doesn't even exist. Like, just like, like, oh man.
A touch of atroquinine in the body is the touch of the Reaper's Scythe.
And that's our new album, The Reaper's Scythe.
Oh, that would be badass.
Shut up! Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. You may present your witness.
I have for you today a simple man for a simple case.
Simple man.
No one's simple in this game.
A man who witnessed the murder in this entirety.
That journalist, no doubt.
The witness will state his name and occupation.
Ah, sigh.
Oh, creeper.
Brushel. Now, who, I don't, who
It
did we
was
have
me.
as Brushel?
It was,
Okay.
yeah, it was Zach.
All right, Zach. Time for Brushel.
Ah, right. Well, for starters, my name's Spark Brushel. My job is a lone observer of the world.
Shocked that you're alone. In other words, a freelance journalist, right?
If you don't mind, I'd like to state something here for the record.
Yes, Mr. Brushel, sorry.
I dislike conclusions, specifically the jumping to aspect of the conclusions. Preconceptions make park sandbox of endless desert waste. End quote.
But you are a journalist. You said so yourself yesterday.
Well, that's true, yes. But you must understand, I stand before you today, a man with a dream.
I'll bet.
I'm offering you my testimony in exchange for exclusive rights to the story. Scoop turns Mr. Brushel into that Mr. Brushel. End
What?
quote.
What?
Shut up. Let's hear your testimony then, shall we?
That shut up was particularly satisfying. A simple case, eh, Gavin? For me, the jury is still out. Witness testimony, the journalist's story.
So now, KP, we are in the meat and potatoes of Apollo Justice, where we are hearing the testimony of the witness, I guess, or whoever's up on the stand, and then we cross-examine and do all the stuff where it actually becomes like a courtroom, as close as we get to actual courtroom stuff. Anyway.
I visited the studio around 9 that night to do the interview. The first outsider to enter the atelier.
What's an atelier? Is it like a studio? I suppose.
I think so. I'm actually not. I don't know 100% what atelier is.
Journalistic history made. End quote.
Let's see. Right. I will continue to look that up.
Okay.
His daughter brought us coffee right after we started.
A workshop or studio, especially one used by an artist designer like Drew Michel.
Ooh,
Nice.
okay.
I made that part up, but the artist thing. Brought us coffee right after we started. Yes.
Yep.
And you know what happened next. Star falls. End quote. No one else entered the room besides her the whole time.
That does sound like a simple case. Unless you were the one who poisoned him.
What are you saying? What, George?
Need I remind you, the cameras are rolling today. I felt the need to be a bit dramatic.
You didn't do it, did you?
Did you do anything like that? Come on, that's like newsmaker making the news. End quote. Or even contemporary witch hunt. End quote.
Or even this guy is guilty as sin. End quote.
What? I know. Wild accusations are a courtroom. End quote.
Oh, you sleazy bastard. Rock indeed.
Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun.
I'm so happy for him.
Shut up. Very well. Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, please.
Let's roll. Okay, so cross-examination, the journalist story. So whenever some of these things come out, when he says something like, I visited the studio around 9 o'clock that night to do the interview, I can go, hold it! And then I can ask, 9 o'clock at night? Isn't that a little late for an interview?
If the great painter Drew Mission says, come at 9, believe you me, I go at 9. The first, and as it turned out, last interview with such a prolific painter.
Right. Can you tell us what it was like when you arrived?
The first outsider to enter the atelier. Journalistic history made, end quote.
Hold it! How do you know that you're the first outsider? You were the first reporter ever in Drew's studio?
Yes. Well, I did visit Drew the Damager's studio
Ah,
once
yes,
before.
yes. I've heard
But
of Drew the
then
Damager, yes.
Posterity will look back on that night as a turning point in journalistic history. A basically insignificant step for all mankind.
Just a...
But a giant step for that Brushel guy. End quote.
If no one on the outside ever had access to the studio, then it would serve to reason that the deed was done by an insider.
By which he means Vera did it.
So how did this epoch-making interview go?
His daughter brought us coffee right after we started.
Hold up! What if it was tea? Would you mind being a little more specific?
Ooh-wee. Let me tell you, I enjoy a cuppa.
I believe that's 100% accurate, Your Honor. I think nothing truer has been said than that this man is a little too into coffee. I think that's...
In fact, it all began
Wait, I didn't.
when
I
I was
didn't
in
do
the
that.
4th grade.
That's not
And
what
then-
I meant.
What? Oh.
I believe I know what her forehead is driving at. Yeah, forehead.
Yes.
Yeah, 40.
It's coffee. Yeah, this coffee the victim was served. Did anyone other than the defender touch it?
Right. That's what I was going to say, really.
Well, now, if you've got a question to ask, you'd best straight up ask it. That's what I tell all the new recruits, several times if necessary. Right for a grade schooler. That's my motto.
Yep.
Which isn't a...
I didn't
don't
do that.
really know grade school, but I am not sure.
Who
what
touched the
exactly-
coffee?
Oh. Don't know. I was in the back, looking at the studio's equipment when she served it.
And what happened next?
And you know what happened next. Star falls, end quote.
Hold it! Why do you have such terrible quotes? What's this about a star falling?
Star Falls, huh? It's like an old telegram. Send money over.
Zowie! You don't know that's like a journalism code word. An important personage passes away, a star falls. Get it?
I feel like that was very apparent.
Yeah,
But,
like,
but there's no gravity in space, is there?
yeah, I mean, seriously. What's up with intent?
I wouldn't think stars could fall, really.
Does this matter?
I want to sound
Good
important.
boy. This is good stuff, good stuff. How about star breaks? Nah, lax punch. I know. Star die. No, lax imagination. Of course, you could go with Drew dies.
Wow.
Straight to the point. I like it.
It's okay, Drew. Different Drew. It is.
Yes.
I think we need to hear about something a little more substantial. Like, for
Oh.
example, this. About when Mr. Mission passed away.
Phew, boy, what a scene that was. He puts his coffee mug down with a crash, right?
Yes. And then.
Then the cold finger of death touches his spine. Life's flame sputters and fades. So cold was that touch, he could do naught but tremble uncontrollably. Actually, life's flame's a little tired. Life's river froze over. Yes, that's a go.
I think he's starting his article already. Actually, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to this type of poison, how does it immediately take effect? Like, does it hurt immediately, or is this something where you're like, oh, I'm dead now?
It seemed to be like that. I mean, the way that they described it is he
Because
kind
if
of.
it is like that, then how would he put his coffee cup down? Wouldn't he just immediately just fall over?
Right, unless he was
Maybe
like,
it-
the pain, coffee cup.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Well,
dead.
that's my question.
Yeah, I don't know.
It probably maybe took some time. Like he took a drink, put it down, 30 seconds, dead.
Well, yeah, but he
I don't
said
know.
he crashed it down, as in it was like in the moment.
Oh,
It's like, I think I've taken 0.0%
Like, if
of
he's like,
atroquinine.
pain.
interesting.
Pain. That might just be him being dramatic because it's
Could
his
be.
entire character, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
Could you describe that a little more simply?
Well, as you can imagine, I was pretty surprised. He hit the floor, as they say. Artist's seizure is final performance, end quote.
Atroquinine paralysis. Atroquinine paralysis. The central paralysis. I cannot speak.
You've taken it. Your effective
paralyzes.
clavier is going down.
The central nervous system. The body aches back like a bow.
I didn't do that. I
That's
didn't do
quite
that.
enough of that.
That was the
I
judge
don't
interrupting.
Need to hear it anymore. Some of us want to be able to sleep tonight.
Oh, yeah? Well, I want details. Lots of juicy details.
For that, you can listen to our last year's hit single, Atroquinine, My Love, by the Gavineers.
Oh.
Available at all major music outlets.
Of course.
point here is that the victim died of atroquinine poisoning. Well, Mr. Justice, how did you find that testimony?
Very important, because if he's arching his back, how did he slam the coffee cup? I don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, as an account of the moment of the victim's death, I'd say it's very important. Please add it to the testimony.
Shut up. Very well. The court requests the witness add this account to his testimony.
Those spasms. That was definitely death by poison.
Hold it!
So-
When you say death, you say it was definitely death by poison. How can you be so sure?
Hey, look, I'm a journalist. I've seen a lot of things.
That's what I was thinking, Rudnell, yeah.
I've had more than my share of experiences with so-called poisoning.
Especially the ones I cause. I mean,
Man eats fishy fish, goes bye-bye, end quote.
food poisoning doesn't count. Should I get him to talk about something else?
That is interesting, the difference between poisoned food and food poisoning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously. How exactly is your coffee safe? So you drank the coffee that Vera served you too?
Of course. When someone serves you a coffee, you drink it. That's what my old boss always used to say. Never did get what he meant by it, though.
But you're still alive, which is to say you didn't die.
Of course not. No point falling before you're a star, end quote.
That's not exactly what I was getting at.
What were you getting at then? You know the poison was on the rim, not in the coffee!
Ah, yes, yes. There were 2 cups on the tray she brought. And one of the cups had Drew's signature painted on the side.
No chance the guest would take that one by mistake, I guess.
Well, Mr. Justice, was that testimony important?
We're talking about the coffee the witness drank. I'd say that is important.
Yeah, be quiet. Very well. Please add that to your testimony, Mr. Brattle.
If that is really your true name.
I drank the coffee too, but I'm not dead yet.
Hold it! How can we be sure that you're not dead yet?
Why aren't you dead?
You're sure you drank the coffee?
Oh, yes, yes, quite. I gulped it down, felt that sweet scorch in my throat.
But you say the victim took one sip and fell over. And you still kept drinking?
Of course.
What?
Drink your coffee when it's hot, never when it's not.
You're dead?
a weirdo.
That's also what my old boss used to say. Never really knew what he meant by it.
Should I get him to talk about something else? Yes. The Stars coffee. You say Mr. Misham had the coffee too. But did you actually see him drink the coffee?
Of course. He who sees it wins, but he who says it wins bigger. End quote. I live in a man sees dog eat dog and writes about it world. Yet, I guess I can't say I saw him drink it, really. He had one so-called sip, if that. Man puts lips to mug, drinks, end quote.
That poison is quite virulent, I hear.
My stomach did a so-called somersault. Since I'd gulped down that coffee without so much as a second glance at it. Wait, maybe something's there. Some kind of so-called trick.
Did his old boss die of poisoning too? It is an excellent question, Aruna.
Anyone want to venture a guess? For the record?
Does this guy have a pause button?
Well, Mr. Justice, did you find that testimony valuable?
The victim drank his coffee, then immediately fell over?
Oh, yes, yes. You can go to the press with that one.
Your Honor, this is a vital piece of information. Please add it to the testimony.
Shut up. Very well. The witness will add this to the testimony.
Vital. Right. He had one sip, if that. The next moment, he was on the floor.
Hold it. When you say one sip, what do you mean? So he either took a sip or he didn't and then fell over?
Yes, indubitably. Just like that. Wham bam.
So Mr. Misham drank the coffee and fell over immediately. I think Brushell's telling the truth, too. Should I get him to talk about something else? No.
The moment of death.
Yeah, we already did that, though.
Oh, is that the... Okay, sorry.
Because we started... Yeah, we started with that one.
Got it.
There's no real need to change the testimony. The problem with the testimony is already pretty obvious, I think.
Is it?
Clearly.
No one else entered the room besides her the whole time.
Hold it! Except when you were in the back. Can you say that for sure?
That for sure. Sure, I'm sure. Drew's studio isn't a big place, you know. I'd know it if someone else had come in.
What if they had been hiding in there from before?
Even if someone had been hiding in the studio, they hardly could have poisoned that mug without anyone noticing.
You think I, Spark Brushell, would miss something as obvious as that? No way.
Oh, okay.
He sure makes it sound exciting. I guess that's his job.
There's only one moment we need to focus on, really.
The moment when Drew Misham died?
Exactly. There has to be something there.
Got something right.
Okay, so then he goes back. So we can now skip through this stuff. Okay. He had one sip. So this is the moment. So...
How do you know this is the... like in terms of when he died?
In terms of when he died. Because, like, the next moment he was on the floor. No one else entered the room is not it. And that's his daughter brought us coffee, so it's this one.
Was it possible that he switched himself and Drew, and actually Drew went into the other room, and Brushell stayed, but he switched it as in he went to the other room? As in a way for him to poison the coffee?
Could be. So... Question is what we present to him.
Maybe ask if he knows.
Say slow acting. Hey, look at that. Traces of the slow
acting deadly poison.
Oh.
Good call. Objection! And the music stopped, which is always a good sign. You know what I have a problem with? A particular property of the poison used, atroquinine, as indicated by my good legal analyst friend KP here, who has made it clear.
Courtroom. I told you I went to law school.
Yes. Oh. Prosecutor Gavin was quite clear about the poison.
Clearly wrong, Your Honor.
A lethal dosage of 0.002 milligrams paralyzes the central nervous system.
Yep, you got it, Triffid.
If you drank that, even you, Mr. Justice, would be reduced to a quivering pile.
That's where you're wrong, Judge. I'm always a quivering pile. Why are you using me as an example? Unfortunately, we weren't told everything. There was a vital omission in Prosecutor Gavin's information. One of my favorite smug expressions is this one from Apollo, is the just like the arms folded like, The
one time he's confident.
An omission?
Atroquinine is as virulent as he says, but death doesn't come upon ingestion, not immediately. That's because atroquinine is slow acting!
Slow acting?
What?
According to one forensic scientist,
it's one of the most virulent poisons, but is absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show.
If we suppose that the moment Mr. Misham sipped the coffee was when he sealed his fate, then he would still have had time left to enjoy his last cup of joe.
Shut up! Order! Order. What's the meaning of this?
He's just like, shut up! He's just like,
angry teen.
God, this courtroom.
If what the defense says is correct, why, That contradicts the entire testimony we've just heard.
Well, Mr. Brushel, anything to say on the record?
What everyone else said, they might be onto something.
He was poisoned before the coffee. The residues from the traces on his lips from when he was poisoned. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's right,
That's
Brunel.
down.
And now it's going to take us 750 minutes to get to that point we've already come to. Like,
He licked the stamp and posted the mail.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Slow acting. Slowwact. It was virulent, all right. Even then, it had already begun digging its claws into the journalist.
He's working on his scoop.
It's Brushel! Yeah? Brushel, let's take a trip back down memory lane.
Huh?
Did the victim really die the instant he took a sip?
Yeah, here's
Sorry,
where we get to the very loose rules of perjury in the Phoenix Wright universe, where you can just like constantly do. All right, this time you really have to tell the truth. Okay, Your Honor. Like, you know.
Think it over. This is vital.
You know what I think? I think that was a not so subliminal suggestion. End quote.
I admit, it does cause a problem if he died when you said he died.
Imagine this conversation in a real courtroom.
I would be forced to say auf Wiedersehen to my simple case. Auf Wiedersehen, sorry. And you would be forced to say farewell to your article.
Come again?
You can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? And as the case drags on, other reporters will pick up the scent. And you'll be forced to kiss your exclusive scoop goodbye.
Oh.
Scoop.
Oh God, this guy's that's
Oh
so
my
creepy.
God.
What is
glasses,
wrong
what
with him?
Oh. Please.
Oh
Please
my
just
God.
Dad, do the arrow. I don't want to see that.
Look, wait, just wait a second. Just 1 second.
It's like, ew,
We're waiting. Out with it.
I think I just recalled a so-called important detail. Yes. A revival of recollection, end quote. A story survival, end quote.
Attorney utterly confused, end quote.
Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I'd heard of poison that takes its sweet time, see?
But not what I've been saying for the last few minutes, apparently.
Mr. Brushel, are you saying you noticed something that explains what happened?
You bet I am. The antidote for a poisonous contradiction, end quote, you might say.
Or, I still have no idea what you're talking about, end quote, I might say.
I figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview. See, thanks to my journalism skills, I know who poisoned that coffee.
Well,
was me.
That's
He knows
impossible.
it,
Shut
It
up.
was I, Dio.
Order.
As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony. That Mr. Misham died the instant after he drank.
Of course I'm standing by my testimony. My dream of exclusive rights to this story.
I suppose it was too much to hope for.
What was?
Of course, he wouldn't choose a simple case, not him.
Him.
Phoenix Wright. Who else? Herr Brushel, report for us if you would. What is it that you noticed? Holy shit, this took too long to get to.
Shut up. This court is a critical trial of the juris system.
Forgeries.
Thanks.
I'm afraid no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you noticed.
Witness testimony. What Brushel noticed.
When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Mission was at his desk.
Let me just get all this other stuff. And he's like jumping up and down and saying, I did it. Like,
Wait, I actually am kind of confused at one point because you just said after an in-depth interview, but before he had said that Mr. whatever guy's name is drank it and immediately died at the beginning of the interview.
Who knows at this point?
Yeah.
He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope.
There we go. That's the stamp thing.
Yep.
I thought nothing of it at the time, of course. Now that I think about it, what if he was writing a suicide note?
A suicide note.
Yes, he had this look on his face. Man's face inscrutable as a quadratic equation. End quote.
Suicide? Poor Mr. Misham. But that means Vera's innocent.
Would someone commit suicide in the middle of an interview?
Oh.
Very well. You may begin your cross-examination.
I shall do so, Judge. Cross-examination. What Brushel noticed.
When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Mission was at his desk.
Hold it! This changes everything about what you already said. Was there anyone at the studio other than Mr. Misham?
Well, his daughter Vera, of course.
Was anyone beside Mr. Misham and Vera present?
Not a single one. Not a cat. Not a rat. Not even a mouse.
What about a bug?
The only person
There
who
were a
didn't
few
belong
bugs.
to that studio there was you, wasn't it, Mr. Brushel?
I know what you're doing. I know your game. Attorney accuses classic Ramsden phenomenon ploy, end quote.
Wow.
What is that?
I have no idea.
If you intend to suggest that this reporter is a suspect, I'm sure you also intend to present evidence supporting that assertion, correct? In the meantime, let's move along, shall we?
You seem to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope.
Hold it! How did he seal the envelope? So he put the letter away when he saw you?
Early reporter gets the worm, end quote. That's my secret.
Is a courtroom.
I'm not sure I follow.
It's the night of the interview. I arrived 15 minutes ahead of schedule.
Wait. And the poison's supposed to take 15 minutes.
15 minutes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
The handle turns, the door opens, and I barge in.
Well, that's, he licked it close. We were talking about that, Tilted. That, like, there's this stamp that was removed, and, like, it's got something to do with that.
Was he planning on killing himself before Brushel came in, but he came in 15 minutes early, and he's like, oh, shoot.
Or somebody else did
Oh.
and set up that
Yeah.
way. Are you sure that's okay to do? I mean, isn't that unlawful entry, really?
Mr. Mission sure seemed to think so. You should have seen him. He crammed his letter into that yellow envelope as fast as he could.
Yellow
Yellow.
envelope. What?
Yeah.
I know a secret when I spot one, and that was one.
Right, because the envelope is red.
Yep.
It does seem significant. Well, Mr. Justice,
I wonder. It does have the ring of something important.
Yes.
The defense finds this testimony vital, Your Honor.
very well. Please add it to the testimony then.
Hey, why not? My account comes free of charge. Yeah. It
There
was
it
a
is.
yellow envelope.
Yep.
I heard it was left at the crime scene.
I will present. We press first, but then I'll come back and I'm going to present him. The thing. Hold it! And you saw him seal this yellow envelope with a letter?
Hey, don't look at me like that. I saw what I saw.
Apollo, you think this might be...
Our big break? Yeah. What I need is a good defense, because I'm feeling like a criminal. Because I need to be redeemed from the one I've sinned against, because he's all I ever... Okay. What I need is to show some decisive evidence now. Oh, I got it.
I thought nothing of it at the time.
Hold it! You didn't think anything might be wrong at the time?
Hey, when I go in for an interview, that's what I'm there to do. Interviewer finds looking more effective than caring, end quote.
What? So what about now? Thinking back on it, did you sense anything strange in Mr. Misham's behavior?
Well, yeah, that's why I'm telling you all this to begin with.
Begin with?
Very well. Continue with your testimony.
I'm gonna go back.
Nope.
Now that I think about it, what if he was writing a suicide note?
Hold it! Because I want to press him and find out all the weak spots. Then we'll go back and we'll get him. A suicide note?
Well, yeah, don't quote me
Well,
or
that's
anything.
That's a first.
I'm just saying it's a possibility, you know?
So you didn't actually check the letter?
Of course not. 'Twas sealed. Contents of can unknown until can is opened, end quote. But it's usually beans.
You can always check the label.
Do you think Mr. Misham was writing a suicide note?
If he was, that would solve the case in a jiffy.
It kind of makes me wonder about that letter. Because that...
Okay, so when
I
I arrived at
arrived
the
at the
studio, right, so we
studio.
know about this. So, now we get to the yellow envelope.
There.
Do you
Present.
mean this yellow envelope? Objection! As it just so happens, there was a single letter in a desk drawer at the scene. In a red envelope!
Shut up.
I wanted to sleep tonight?
Prosecutor Gavin!
Ja.
Was a yellow envelope found at the scene of the crime?
Unfortunately, no. But her forehead. It's easy to mistake It's easy to mistake the color of an envelope.
Yeah, but from yellow to red?
I guess, but not this envelope. You see, it was postmarked already, 7 years ago.
Well, Mr. Brushel,
I can explain that. Drew, right? He wanted to get that letter in an envelope pronto. Get it out of sight of my beady eyes, right? So he grabbed the nearest envelope and crammed it away.
And what about the whole red and yellow envelope contradiction, chump?
well, Mr. Justice, have you anything to say to the witness's claim?
That night, the victim put a letter he had been writing in a red envelope.
Is the envelopes is sealed?
Should you save now, maybe? And then be able to do the other choice later?
No, I think that's okay. If I said it was impossible, the argument would be that because it probably was opened and replaced in another envelope would be my guess. Because there's a whole thing about how like you can steam it open, you know?
Right.
Like, and so I mean,
I don't know.
True.
I would
now.
say. I'd say it's impossible. I don't know.
If I was here, I would literally just save and then choose the right option.
it's that's impossible.
Ooh, but the music came so that.
I like your expression. So full of confidence.
It's simple, really. As it just so happens, the defense team investigated the contents of this envelope with the assistance of a forensic scientist.
What?
Note that this letter is addressed to Drew Misham.
Oh.
Why would he address a letter to himself? Let alone send a suicide note to himself!
I've been scooped.
Oh, he's been scooped. This guy's really weird. I don't understand.
Shut up, shut up. Order. Order, order. Mr. Brushel, can you explain this to the court?
Perjury item number 2, at least, right?
Oh, my. How could I have forgotten?
Perjurous bastard!
I suppose this happens to the best of us.
And to you.
Reporter gets old, forgets lots, end quote.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm still waiting for an explanation, Mr. Brushel.
Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in that envelope...
He used his heat vision to turn it from yellow to red, and then...
Mr. Misham sat there, searching his desk drawer for something.
His desk drawer?
Yes.
Ooh, there we
a
go.
Stamp, yeah.
A so-called postage stamp. End quote.
So someone knew that he was going to be looking for a stamp, placed it so that he would lick the stamp, and then the 15 minutes before the interview, like we said, he does that. This all happens in a minute or so, and then 15 minutes later he dies.
Which doesn't make sense though, because he did, unless he waited after he came in 15 minutes before the coffee came.
Well, right, probably, because he comes in, he's at his desk. This is 15 minutes early. Drew Misham is working. He puts the thing in the envelope and whatever, and then the interview doesn't actually get started until the time it was supposed to. Brings the coffee out, right?
Yeah,
so,
gotcha.
A stamp. Whatever for?
Well, to mail his letter. What else? And then, why, yes, I think I saw him put it in his letterbox.
Again, though, to himself? I don't...
Yes, it was a yellow envelope, and he put it in that box.
Oh.
Shut up. Well, apparently this...
I didn't do that.
Oh, how I wish it did. Just think, if that were a suicide note, what a story.
Yes, how terrible.
Star writes suicide note in front of reporter. Falls. End quote.
As I was saying, that has nothing to do with this case. That said...
Yes, Your Honor?
It makes me wonder about the contents of that red envelope.
Here it is. Wait a minute. The paper's with the enclosed stamp.
Right.
So the guy sends him the stamp, knows he's going to use it, and that the stamp is designed to kill him, right? So he licks the stamp and then is poisoned 15 minutes later. The only thing I don't understand is the fact that the stamp started out in a frame. Yeah. Oh, wait, unless he hadn't opened it. 7 years ago, the guy meant to kill him. But he never opened it.
Oh, my God.
Until just now. And he takes this, takes the stamp, steams it off the thing, and puts it on the yellow envelope and then goes to mail it. So this murder was supposed to happen, but 7 years ago, not now.
Yeah.
Because he's been forging artwork for a while.
Yeah.
The question is...
Do we have the yellow envelope?
No. It's the first we ever heard of a yellow envelope, actually. We do have the box, though.
Yeah, we're going to break the box open or something.
Yeah.
Well, my question is how is that going to play into this? Like, how are we going to...
I don't know.
It's going to take years.
So, this was from 7 years ago, ja?
Ah. So, am I finished?
Yes.
Here, I mean, am I finished here?
Yes, your career is finished.
I was thinking of, going home to start writing.
We haven't finished asking you questions.
I hate to state what should be pretty obvious to anyone, but when you catch the scent of a story, you make that a rather unique face.
Come on. Attorney has active imagination, little else, end quote.
Wow.
Even I noticed something, and my eyes aren't what they used to be.
In fact, they've never been what they were.
If Judge noticed something.
Yeah, no.
I'm starting to understand what all this perceiving stuff is all about.
How did you become a judge, dude?
That's what I just said. How did you even...
Judge rises to the level because he looks impressive. He looks impressive.
Look at this beard. It was the beard.
It was the beard.
That's where he stores all his knowledge.
Judge has no active imagination. End quote.
You have no right to...
Shut up.
You have no right to even be a mall Santa, let alone a judge. Come on.
Can you imagine? Shut up, little child. Now, inform me of what you wish. He's evolving.
Continue with your testimony.
Santa didn't want to be Santa. He wanted to be a judge, so he decided to knock someone out and replace them.
Right.
Tell us about the scent of a story.
Ooh.
I'm sure there's a Phoenix Wright or an Ace Attorney thing where the judge is being examined for something.
I can imagine, yeah.
The next game is seeing if he's Santa Claus or not.
Yeah.
This face is the weirdest.
I'm the one asking the questions here, usually.
No, that's not even... Okay.
Witness testimony, the scent of a story.
Actually, took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on the interview.
7 years.
Reporter leverages story, gets his interview. End quote. The story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago. The red envelope probably had something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare.
So, you threatened to go to press with this story.
That's fair, Tilted. Anyone who goes through what the judge has been through in terms of these cases would eventually lose it. I think that's probably fair.
That's how you got your interview. Blackmail.
Well, yes. I mean, no. Wasn't exactly black. I mean, I'm not.
You're not black? What are you?
Well,
something wrong, Mr. Brushroom?
Look.
We're looking.
This is my story, my tidbit. Journalists' info is livelihood. End quote.
I see.
Why do you have me chatting away in here? What's going on out there? What if some Wally Wordsworth or Sally Scooper gets wind of my story? They could be going to press while I'm going to waste.
The court feels your pain, Mr. Brushel.
What?
Mr. Justice, let's pick up the pace.
A certain case 7 years ago. Wait, 7 years ago?
I don't get it.
Cross-examination, the scent of the story.
And so it goes.
Actually, it took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on the interview.
Now, yes, we're going to come back to this. You see this, hold on a second, first of all. Oh, very nice. Shoutout Mage has pledged $14.50 via Patreon. That means our Patreon number is higher. Yay! Thank you, Shoutout Mage. Let's see what the updated figure is. Hang on. It maybe went to yearly too. What?
Nice.
I think that actually went down, which I don't think is accurate. Because that doesn't make sense because it's the same thing.
They took away
Negative.
their Patreon.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't think that's because it wouldn't give you a big like dun 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 dun.
Someone unsubscribed.
Exactly. They don't have
you.
Someone did less. Like,
yeah, dystopian future where that happens.
No, I don't think that's what happened. Somebody pledged the Patreon, and I think it's picked it up at a different level.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
Every time someone dislikes your video on YouTube, hey, someone disliked your video.
Okay. So two notes. First of all, so we're gonna do the press it thing, but this thing up here, the bracelet thing, that allows you to basically sort of zoom in on nervous tics and stuff like that from the witness, and can get you information sometimes. But first, we start with POW. Hold it. The victim, Drew Misham, had an aversion to reporters.
Boy, I guess. Not even my considerable charms did much for him. Finally got my thumbs up. Until I finally got my thumbs up, that is. right?
Know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Have you? Yes.
sorry. I got it. Maybe you can elaborate that a bit for us.
Reporter leverages story, gets his interview, end quote.
Hold it. That's a terrible quote. Why don't... Exactly what sort of story was this?
Oh, a little one, like I said. Nothing more, nothing less, nothing in between, end quote. I might have suggested I had a lead on this particular story. But I didn't threaten or cajole or nothing. Honest.
Oh, I bet it's about his forgery.
Mm-hmm. So a suggestion was enough to get an interview? Mr. Misham must have really wanted to keep it under wraps.
The story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago.
Hold it. A certain case 7 years ago? Tell us, what case?
Oh, God.
Let me state one thing, Mr. Attorney. Mr. Attorney, and you can quote me on this.
Don't do that.
Can't talk about that case.
Why not?
It's about journalistic pride and staunchness
Staunchness.
and credibility
It's about staunchness.
It's about
and
drive, not
connections.
power.
It's about drive. It's about power.
It's about
Journalist
love.
reveals sources only over his dead body. End quote. So, what'll it be? Gonna strangle me? Dead men don't make the other side.
Sounds pretty determined not to talk.
Oh boy, gum. Our chances of breaking his will aren't looking good.
Perhaps you begin by breaking his face.
Maybe I can bring out Mr. Hat.
That red envelope probably had something to do with it.
Hold it. Don't you mean the yellow envelope? On the one hand, we have your story, and on the other, this letter. What makes you think the two are related?
Oh, I was just saying it's possible. Call it, reporter's intuition, end quote. I say a lot of things. You're going to pick them all apart? Be my guest. Be my guest, be my guest.
All of them? No, just the incredibly suspicious ones.
I see. Anything else to add about Mr. Misham?
Say what you will, but Drew the Damager's talent was without compare.
Hold it. Is this the same Drew the Damager who's delivered photos for ArvCon?
Yes, the very same.
Just how amazing was Mr. Misham's talent?
Huh? Phew, I mean, hey, he's a star, man, a star. The flow of his brush, like a great undulating river across the canvas. Artists' paints light up studio like sun. End quote.
This guy is full of wacky gestures. But that one just now was wackier than usual. Ooh, we're gonna come back to that.
He looks kind of nervous to me, Apollo.
Definitely. I'm sensing something different than before here.
Oh,
Maybe it's time to bring out you-know-what.
That testimony left a bad taste in my mouth. It kind of tastes like pineapple on peanut.
It all makes sense. Nothing jumps out as ridiculous.
I wonder what the story he's talking about is. It must have been good to get an interview with a famous recluse. Is that how I say it?
It's recluse.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Recluse.
Yep.
That's simple. Famous recluse like that.
Something powerful enough to drag Drew Misham out of hiding. I wonder. Maybe it had something to do with Mr. Misham's art. All right. Okay, so we already know about this thumbs up in the interview. So let me go to the end here. Drew's talent was without compare. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Sorry. I thought there was one more. Okay.
Say what you will.
Here we go. Bracelet time. Perceive.
Say what you will.
But Drew.
But
hand.
Where's his hand?
The hand where he's tapping the brush.
Was
Oh.
without compare.
Confirm. Gotcha. Mr. Brushel, you're hiding something.
You don't look like that. You give a guy a heart attack.
Sorry, it's just the way you were moving just now. It was particularly suspicious.
What's that supposed to mean? So usually I'm just sort of averagely suspicious.
Sorry, my mistake. You're fine. I know I'm onto something here. Time to focus.
Okay.
Oh, so it was wrong.
So it wasn't that.
Let me just take a look for a second and see if there's something different about...
I mean, is this really the line, though?
Wait.
Or, I don't know.
Well, that was the one where he was like, wait, he acted different there. Maybe it's his hand?
That's what I was saying. The hand, not the brush.
Not the brush? Okay.
Say what?
Hand. Confirmed. Gotcha.
I might be wrong here.
Brushel, you're hiding something. That's not it. No, we already did this. So maybe it's not that area then at all, but...
Maybe it's his nose. I don't know.
All right, let's...
Testimony left a bad
Something
taste. I wonder what's the story. Must
All right, so if we go to
something powerful enough, maybe it has something to do with his
Do
art.
we want to present the art part?
No, this is a focus thing, because they talked about the idea that there's some nervous tick.
Presenting the bangle.
There's that.
That's
Took
the
a bit of
same
thumbs.
thing.
That's not.
No.
Going. No.
That's him, usually.
No.
Okay, there's that.
I mean, maybe, but...
But that turns
Well,
out that's
see,
the same
he
thing as he did
always
before.
He always does that.
Yeah, okay, so that's
Okay,
definitely not
yeah.
that then. That red envelope probably had something to do with it.
Okay.
Oh!
Yeah.
Well, he does that normally.
No, yeah, that's what he usually does.
Because they said this thing about focus. It's got to be something about...
Yeah, he's already so, like, twitchy anyway that it's hard to tell.
Maybe his
Guess just look at his face.
His
yeah.
eyes, maybe?
My
True, actually. Okay, there's 7 years ago, so there's that.
And some
Oh, he
usually
doesn't
it's
squint his
something
eyes,
that you.
does he? Like he's
It's
just
something. Sometimes they don't even show you in the wide view. Like you zoom in and they're like moving. Their.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
actually
I
that
think
squinting
he's
may be right. Let me go back to
squinting.
this one and see.
Like, 'cause he keeps his
See if
eyes
he
open.
squints.
Oh,
No, he
does
squints there
squint.
too.
Why is he so unique in these expressions?
Yeah, just look at his face. See if you find him.
Okay.
His eyebrows.
His face.
Beads of sweat? No, I didn't see any.
And does it not give you any sort of indication you were on
No,
something?
you
No,
just have to
unfortunately
find
not.
something that looks out of place.
His ears.
His sternum.
His tie.
There's an extra brush.
I mean, the only other thing I think is when he's brushing his head. There was one where he like rotates the brush side to
No,
side.
he does that on the other.
He did that on the
time,
other
too.
one.
I
I
checked,
mean-
yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought it was how he does that
I thought-
differently. That's
Go
I
ahead,
thought
KP.
we also clicked this one as it is. Like I thought that was the
Yeah.
first one we did was click on the brush and the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe try a different one.
Yeah, I guess
Or yeah.
I'll go back to the top. Thumbs up.
See that? Oh, okay. No, the next one. What was the,
next one?
leverage the story, gets his interview, end quote. Like the way he like smiles here.
No, he does that a lot.
Doesn't he always do that?
No, he
Or
always does that.
Sure, but
Doesn't hurt
that's
to
the
look.
most creepy he looks.
He does look very creepy, but he does always do that.
God.
Thanks a lot, KP.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot.
It's like the mouth of Sauron in the extended edition.
It is. It is. Oh my gosh.
And our Dark Lord.
What about his
he
eyes?
has The one
That's what I was
ring.
thinking. That's why I thought about the squinting.
7 for the Dwarven Kings.
Is there blood on his toothbrush? Yeah, no, I checked that. But maybe it is like a certain case from 7 years ago. Sorry, Arunel. Red envelope had something to do with it.
He's just smiling.
So, do we want to try that up motion right there?
That off thing?
No, he always does that though.
I know, but I can't even think of
At this
anything
point, we're
else.
kind of like,
Yeah.
Red envelope.
is it not going to do that motion?
He does it when he's done talking, I think.
Yeah, but once he's done talking, it will stop.
And
the
that's
proceed.
Yeah.
that's the thing too. Is like, usually we don't have to time this. It's something that's consistent for the entire. You know, it's not like we wait for him to turn his head and then we have to like.
Yeah.
It's something
Right,
that
it's
he's doing
happening all the
entire
way
time.
through. That's true.
Yeah.
So that can't be it then.
Yeah, never
So then you're right. Okay, so we should start with the beginning of
Pat,
this.
stop with the mouth. Oh my
Sorry.
god.
Sorry. I'll focus on his eye. That's much less creepy. His eye. His
Ooh.
eye.
Dead.
Okay. So we'll start from the beginning, and you're right. From the beginning of this. So probably that opening.
This is making me not want to get these glasses because the ones I'm getting look almost
Ooh, wait,
exactly like
look
the
a little
ones
bit like
he
that.
has.
When he turns his neck. Never mind, I thought I saw something.
All right. This is the first one of that sequence.
His eyebrows, maybe?
Look at his. I mean, what else would be moving? Maybe look at his chest or something,
His hair.
or his hands.
His neck.
Look lower, lower.
Oh,
You can't see his
Look
hands.
at his breast pocket.
that hasn't changed. Although the brush is in there, but
The brush is like moving on its own.
wait, is that the only time the brush is in his pocket?
Let's see. No, it's there
brush is
too.
in-
His main thing is when the brush is in his pocket. His special move is when he's tapping it against his head.
Mhm.
What's up, Miranda? There is a health bar. If you accuse someone, like, you can actually lose health theoretically in the game.
And die.
I still think it's that weird, creepy smile.
Weird.
Do we want to just try it? I mean, do we lose anything from failing
I
consistently
think so.
over and over?
Gotcha. Mr. Brushell, you're hiding something behind your weird smile.
No.
Not mine.
No.
But he's definitely onto something. You can tell the thing about that. That's why they show the bracelet. Like, certain case, we already looked at that. Looked at that. I still think it's something in this one.
But like in this thing, it doesn't make him move his arm. Therefore, it can't be that.
Yeah, I think that's true.
The only thing that changes is his main body pose and his mouth. And if he blinks, then maybe he's blinking.
Your mouth!
No.
Mr. Brushell, you're hiding something behind your weird mouth. The testimony they noted for his suspicious behavior is the one that I've been highlighting. It was that last one. It's without compare.
Yeah, it doesn't do the squinting or the motion when
Yeah.
he's...
His elbow twitch. I perceive his elbow. Mr. Brushell.
Guys,
Your
we're kind
elbow.
of just... We're just going with anything at this point, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Let's
He choked
see.
himself 5 times.
There's no like beads of sweat or anything.
That's what I was thinking, but
Well,
can't
let's see.
Or like
You can see the shine on his forehead.
He always has that shine.
I don't... That whole thing about him, like, turning, but then it doesn't... When he says a specific line, it will show the tell. Yeah, that's what I thought, but... I thought that the time that they reacted was... here. And I already pressed here.
Huh?
He's a star, blah, blah, blah. This guy's full of wacky gestures. That one just now was wackier than usual.
Yeah, and
see,
then,
that's what makes me think it's that one.
And then Trucy,
Okay,
who usually doesn't notice anything, notices something. That means it's more legit.
I'm definitely sensing something. Maybe it's time to bring out the
Something
you-know-who.
okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so...
It has to be that one, because that's when both him and Trucy notice.
And it has something to
About
do with
his
his art.
Sleeves.
It's got to
I
be
don't know.
here. But where, I don't know.
It's here, but where?
Down below.
He did his elbow already, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the other arm's doing nothing.
Your right arm!
Wait,
Ted.
No.
Ted.
No, he's hiding something.
Wait.
wait.
No, it's the same thing.
Well, this is the same thing, but let me come back to the top, and then...
Hold
Okay,
on.
so go ahead, KP.
So let's go back to the art one where he talks about the art. 'Cause
That's what
he-
we're
I think we're at that,
That's,
right?
Yeah.
Say what you will about was without compare.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
only one where he talks about his art specifically.
Can you go left and right?
Right will
It has to be this one.
right will
Oh,
end
so-
it. No, not necessarily. I mean, I would think so, but not for sure. Right would end it. Left would be there, the red envelope.
Okay.
Hmm.
And one more.
And that's this case from 7 years ago.
Trying to look to see if there's anything else, like in terms of like usually when you press someone they get sweaty, right?
Right.
And they keep talking. So I'm trying to see if like there's sweat marks anywhere. Do they have
Yeah.
like the armpits or something?
Right.
But
I've been checking for that, but like, there's nothing.
You'd assume the talent line because of the forging tilted? Yeah, I mean, like,
Well, that one made sense because both Apollo and Trucy noticed something fishy with it.
now compare.
man, this is a
Is it a
little.
present? Well, no. Is it a present
No.
actually?
It wouldn't.
Are
It'd
we
have to
supposed
be the-
present the
No, because the
forger?
bracelet, first of all, the bracelet is showing up here and it would be grayed out otherwise. And secondly, they made a big thing about maybe it's time to bring out you know what. Unless the idea is to present it and then look. I mean,
Which painting was it? It was
I don't
that
think
one.
so.
it was the forgery one would be,
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That's why we're kind of stuck.
I don't want to take any, is he sweating?
No.
Do you want to try one of his armpits just to see?
Or do we want to save and then try?
Say what?
Your armpit. Gotcha.
You-
Mr. Brushell, you have an armpit problem.
Yeah.
So not that armpit. Maybe we try the other armpit.
The other armpit, your left armpit.
That's
This
all I
is
can think
this is
about.
normally a little more obvious than this. All right.
It's the
So right around
shading
when
on his
he-
neck.
Say what you will, but keep observing that spot and let's see if any comes up. Is that?
Oh, wait. Confirm. Yes, there it is. Let's go.
No way!
Oh.
No way!
Sweat much, Mr. Brushell? Let's go.
I didn't even.
That's
I
really
saw it at a
good.
delay.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
Okay.
Nice tilted.
I didn't
It-
see that because it
yeah.
just seemed like shading.
Well, a man can't help his glands, you know.
Certainly you can't. It's more than that. When Mr. Misham's talent was mentioned, you suddenly began to sweat buckets. You're hiding something about his talent in your armpit.
What? That's ridiculous.
Ooh,
Evidence
evidence
time.
time.
Yep.
All right.
Let's show where Mr. Misham's true talent lay. It just so
Lay.
happens I have evidence showing the talent mentioned in that letter. Okay.
Would it be the one where we see the half?
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah, the question is, I'm trying to remember which one that was. That was this
That
one, right?
That one.
Yeah,
we
that
see
one.
it.
Yeah.
Take that! I don't think that's the right
Uh-oh.
one.
Oh yeah, I'm at a slight delay for some reason. I don't know why.
I can't help but wonder what the court is supposed to conclude from this evidence,
Oh,
other than that you've made a horrible mistake.
You've made a horrible.
yeah.
Oh.
Man birds bridge forgets to cross first, end quote.
This is why we say.
Let's try that again. All I have to do is reveal what Mr. Misham really was. That shouldn't be so hard, right? Okay, so let's find the right painting.
All right. Which does it have labels? Click on before you present it. What's the labels say of the paintings?
Well, so this one is the rough
Landscape.
sketches that's half finished.
And it says no, that's the one we already.
So we can examine it, and this is the...
This rough sketch is only half hidden by the oil painting.
Okay.
Okay. I'll never understand artists.
Still, it's impressive. I wouldn't think you could hide such a dark sketch under such little paint.
Well, it is called oil paint for a reason. I'll bet it's pretty oily. The paint, I mean.
I'm still waiting for you to get to your point.
Okay, so does it say explicitly the art?
Yeah. Wait. So go to the
Showing
other
talent.
What is the name of those paintings? Like if you click on them at the top. Oh.
Notable for the large peach, this is a hidden painting?
Hey,
Oh.
Apollo. This painting, I know it.
Huh? Really?
It's that story where the old woman is doing the wash in the river, and the giant peach comes floating on down. Oh, I know this story.
That might possibly be the strangest thing I've ever heard.
And then there's a sun in it, and then he can talk to animals. Yeah, I know that whole story. It's a pretty cool one.
Is that James and the Giant Peach?
No.
one?
It's
Or-
just 'cause
that's
it's-
a-
No, I think it's an old Chinese folktale about
Do
these.
you want to present this one?
I'm thinking about it, but I don't...
I'm pretty sure it has to be a painting.
Is it...
We could also try the envelope.
Right, because that has the... I have evidence showing the talent mentioned in that letter.
So the letter is already mentioned. Would need to show his
It
talent.
has to be a painting.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
has
it's
to be a
about
painting.
it's about him. This is just a portrait.
What do we have here? It looks like a person thinking about something.
Maybe they're worried?
Like, what should I have for supper? A hot dog or a hamburger?
Hot dog.
You know, I've always wondered that. Why is there supper and dinner? Are they different meals or are they the same thing?
A totally different sketch underneath the painting. Maybe that's what this person's thinking about. Oh, I see what you're getting at, Triffid. So in other words, since we're talking about forgery here, then...
We want.
I want the one that.
So this
We
was
already
the-
presented.
We presented this
Our-
one, but this one we haven't, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one. Oh, we want the hidden painting.
Take that! Ah, there we go. No music. This painting was found in Mr. Misham's studio. Okay, this is the one that was hidden behind the dresser. So yeah, my bad. Okay. There are two problems with this painting. The first is it wasn't painted by Mr. Misham. The second is that there was another painting in the studio
There we go.
which looked exactly like this one, except it was only half done. Then we have a letter discussing a payment of $100,000, which suggests a certain business operation. The business of making forgeries.
Ooh, got him. Oh my god, that image freaked me out.
Nice.
That is all, Your Honor. Oh, that guy's a
Oh,
dead
that
man. That
hidden
can't
painting.
possibly
He's
my God.
terrifying.
Shut. Oh,
Everyone, Please, everyone. Can we keep this private?
What?
Please.
No.
This is my story. My scoop.
Forgery. That's a serious crime.
Drew Misham is known as an artist these days. But there were rumors he dabbled in another kind of art until a few years back.
Dark magic.
Another art, meaning forgery.
Fakes?
Drew Misham was talented, all right. Talented at making precise, detailed fakes.
That awful human being deserved what he received.
A fact that certain criminal elements were quick to discover.
Criminal elements? What? You can't seriously be talking about...
Yes, plutonium. Exactly. I'm talking about forging evidence.
Forgery?
The rumors started circulating 7 years ago.
So, I wonder, so he was forging evidence that got Phoenix into trouble at the very beginning of this? So, like, the early cases were kind of trumped up based on this guy's, like, work, maybe?
And then when he started getting found out, this is now why he's writing the suicide note, maybe?
Could be.
7 years ago. So, are we to understand that this letter, this payment of $100,000 was for...
Exactly. Forged evidence, that's tidy profit. End quote.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Oh my God, forgery.
Order. Why, it's like our victim was living a double life.
Not unlike me, judge by day, mall Santa at... Aha, this is my chance. So the victim had ties to the criminal world, right? He could have had plenty of enemies we know nothing about.
This is my first time hearing of this criminal world.
That's because you know nothing of the mafia, Herr Clavier.
We certainly found no criminal connections when he concluded that investigation.
Objection! But how do you explain all this money? You have to admit there's a possibility of some illegal activity here.
Objection!
Objection. You can't object to my objection.
But there is no proof of tying this letter to our case.
Triple objection. Oh.
Stop objecting on my objection.
Gotcha. Our case was and remains simple from the beginning. Only the defendant could have poisoned that mug that night. And you, of course.
Hey, the only thing I poison in my pen is my pen when I'm writing reviews. Sorry, I got up.
Shut up. Mr. Brushel, your testimony to this point has been quite unreliable.
You've perjured yourself multiple times, but there will be no consequences because...
It doesn't speak well of your reporting acumen.
What are you talking about? My journalism is rock solid. Journalism so solid you could stand an elephant on it. End quote.
In any case, let's hear a summarized recap of your testimony.
I didn't see it. I didn't know
brought to us by SparkNotes. If we can ascertain the situation in that studio from the recap, the trial is over.
Apollo, what is he talking about?
The cross-examination showed Mr. Brushel didn't have reason or means to poison him. As long as there are no other suspects, then the killer had to be Vera. That's what. This next testimony is our last chance. It's the final chance.
Mr. Brushel, your testimony, please.
Your actual, real, honest-to-God testimony.
testimony.
The interview, a recap.
Gosh. The only other person in the studio that night was the defendant. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She's admitted as much herself. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during the interview was that mug. And nothing left that studio after he died. Nothing. Clearly, the only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter.
That nothing left one.
Yeah.
Nice testimony, clear, succinct, and without room for doubt.
Oh, shucks. You really think so?
No.
I believe this clarifies the situation that night. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your final cross-examination.
Finally.
Right. I still have one trump card left to play. And I won't let this trial end until I use it. Cross-examination, the interview, a recap.
The only other person in the studio that night was the defendant.
Hold it!
But you were there too.
But that doesn't prove Vera poisoned it. Oh, that's true, actually. Whoa.
Objection! How many times have we heard that one, forehead?
Not enough. He wasn't the only... Oh.
The poison reached its victim via that coffee mug.
Wrong.
And from where did that coffee mug come from?
That's right. Anyone who harvests and sells coffee could have been responsible. We have millions of suspects.
Not to beat a dead horse again and again, but perhaps you could fill us in.
I'm on it. You need a horse beat?
Wow.
I'm your man.
That came out weird.
Yeah, really.
What? It was Vera who poured the coffee. She's admitted as much herself.
Hold it!
Has she, though?
And you witnessed her pouring the coffee?
Of course I didn't witness it. When she came in with that tray, the coffee was already poured and steaming.
Let us not forget the defendant has admitted to pouring the coffee herself. I heard their statement. I poured, I served, and I killed.
Wait a minute.
She
What?
doesn't talk.
What?
That last part was just a little joke.
Extremely little. I don't think I'm going to get anywhere with this coffee mug. I need to find another weak spot in this case. It's fine, I got one.
The only thing that touched Drew's lips during that interview was the mug.
Hold it! You're sure about that?
Well, to be really, really precise, I was busy gobbling mint candies the whole time.
What?
What? One of those candies might have been poisoned!
Objection. Yet, at the time of the autopsy, no fresh fragrance of mint filled the room. And no mint residue was found.
It was a long shot anyway.
Don't tell me you're still trying to prove this. You think the victim ate, drank, or otherwise ingested something other than coffee?
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have some proof.
The possibility is there. I can feel it. Just maybe not prove it, not yet. And possibility isn't going to cut it, not now. Mr. Misham ingested that poison via a route other than that coffee. Here I am going to save.
Yes. Finally.
Yes.
Ooh.
Turn to the title screen. That's fine.
Oh my.
Continue. No, it's all right. I know I saved it this time. Yes, resume your game from this point. There we go. Okay, ingested that poison via route other than that coffee. So I'm a little thrown off by the fact that he just said he can't, because I feel like,
We know it's a stamp.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can
Will he?
proof is
Yeah,
possible. I gotta risk it.
Oh, excellent. Let's see your proof then. Please show us your evidence. What evidence shows that the victim wasn't poisoned via his coffee mug?
Now, is it the stamp, or is it like the frame, or the letter?
I feel like it's the.
Is the
It's the
stamp in the
frame.
frame?
It wasn't
It's the
there.
frame.
It's not there anymore. But it's the only other place that shows the poison mark.
Pairs traces of deadly poison at, yep.
Yeah.
Take that! Whoa.
Oh, wow. Must I explain this over and over and over? We don't need possibilities here, Elf Forehead. We need proof.
I know that.
You should also know that every proof has its moment.
Oh,
Perhaps
come
you're a bit early?
I can tell you what we know.
The game's really going to make you go through everything and get it to the right point.
I can tell you what we know at this point. The victim put nothing to his mouth but that coffee mug.
So we need to prove that he did.
Another hole in this case that needs plugging before I can prove anything. But first things first, I better uncover a weak spot before I try to strike again.
Okay, so
On with the cross-examination.
Okay, even the game knows its own annoyances. Like it itself.
And nothing left the studio after he died. So that might be, we need to press this.
Yeah. Hold it! Not one thing, you're sure?
Yep, sure as sure can be. Well, with one exception.
Hey, what's up, Stalio?
One exception? What?
Journalist Spark Brushel does interview, leaves studio. End quote. Come on. It's a joke. Get it? Not funny, I know, but still.
Nope. Did something leave the studio that night?
Yes.
Why does that sound familiar? Where have I heard something like that before?
Shut up.
It's my inner monologue.
Let me be the main character.
Now that we've proven our witness is a comedian of sorts, I'd like to turn to our defense attorney before returning to the testimony.
Okay.
Do you have any idea what, if anything, might have left the studio that night?
Just one thing. I think one thing might very well have left the studio that night, actually. A certain something that has vanished from the crime scene.
By which you mean something other than our witness?
Of course.
Don't tell me. Bear a mission.
Believe me, any comic relief I may provide is entirely unintentional.
Shut up. Then, let's see what you've got for us, Mr. Justice.
Well, this thing wasn't at the scene of the crime, so I can't show it to you. But I too have evidence that shows how it could have been taken from the scene.
Mailbox,
Right?
Should we
Mailbox.
say-
mail time.
Do it.
Mail time.
Take that!
Just do it.
This is the only
Here's
link
the-
between that studio and the outside world, and the music stops, so we must be right.
Please.
A letterbox.
I just really want to sing the whole song now.
What did Mr. Brushel just tell us? When he entered the studio on the night of the murder, the victim had just finished writing a letter. Dun, 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 my baby sure wrote me a letter.
Yeah, I said that. And yeah, it was true.
Furthermore, you went on to tell us that he put the letter in a yellow envelope and put it in the letterbox.
Ah,
But that very same letterbox was empty. In other words, that night the yellow envelope disappeared.
Ah, yes, intriguing. So an envelope has disappeared from the scene of the envelope has disappeared from the scene of the crime. Of course, this changes nothing.
Huh?
he has a point, Mr. Justice. Shut up to no one in particular.
Shut up to myself.
What we're trying to figure out here is how the poison got into Mr. Misham. Is it really important that this envelope the witness says he saw disappeared?
Well, if it did disappear, then something did leave the studio that night. That seems very important to me.
Very well, then. The witness will add this to his testimony.
Which is still not perjury, apparently.
You got it, boss.
I still think this fails to change anything, Airforehead.
And I still think your music's terrible.
How dare you?
I wouldn't be so sure. A letter disappeared from the crime scene that night. This is exactly the opening I've been looking for.
Oh.
A letter was put in the post from the studio, but I hardly think that matters.
Hold it! Nothing could be more serious than an envelope disappearing from that studio. And you were hiding that fact from us.
Yes, well, actually...
I don't argue the possibility that a letter disappeared from that studio. But, Airforehead, isn't there a much more serious question before us?
Right, how Mr. Misham was poisoned, I know. But Mr. Brushell's testimony has changed, which means the facts of the case have too. And what he's told us means something entirely different now, I'm starting to think.
Let's keep thinking, Apollo. As in, you keep thinking. I'm still here.
Clearly, the only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter.
Hold it! You say clearly as though it were obvious. But this claim that the defendant poisoned the victim is merely conjecture.
Yes, well, you see. In my business, it's all about making the most ridiculous things sound right.
Wasn't this the guy at the beginning who said he doesn't like jumping to conclusions?
Seriously.
Yep.
No, Stalio, brushing one's tongue in glasses is not sanitary. Can confirm, not at all.
A bad habit. I know. Are we talking about brushing glasses or?
Yes.
Yes, well, actually, I guess this is more of a case of ridiculous Jonas sounds wrong. End quote.
The court is forced to agree with you. Please refrain from wild conjecture.
Understood loud and clear.
If only I could believe that.
What do you think, Apollo? Everything he's saying seems so not flawed?
Well, that's kind of what you want from a testimony, really. I need to keep my eye on what matters. How and why was Drew Misham killed? Vera poured the coffee, that's not going to change. But if that coffee didn't kill him, I need to find what did and prove it. Okay, we know about that.
We already
It's
did.
a matter of where. The only person, okay, was the defendant. We already did that. Vera poured the coffee. Could be that. So it's got to be something about this letter. Okay. So
Do we present the same thing?
letter was well. Now do we
The
present
letterbox?
this?
Yeah, try
No,
it.
do we present that in the thing before? With the only thing that could have touched his lips was the mug that night?
Yeah.
The part before,
Yeah.
not this one?
Yeah. I will save this just in case.
I know, I've been like bopping to the music.
Okay, and continue. No, everyone just panic now whenever it happens. Okay, letter is put in the post. So this thing. Well, see, the thing is, during the interview, that's true. But it's the fact that he licked the stamp or whatever before the interview that's the issue.
Yeah.
So, put in the post from the studio. Estimated time of death was 9 to 9:30.
Wait, when did he say arrived again?
Say
He
again?
doesn't give a time. I was wondering what time he said he arrived, but I don't think he gave.
Well, it was supposed to happen at 9 o'clock. He arrived 15 minutes early, so say 8:45 is when he arrived?
Yeah.
Cause of death, yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Do we have to try, I think, presenting that?
This thing?
Yeah.
We're saved, so we can do it, right?
Objection! Your Honor, that statement... Oh, no, it's the Gennaro McGeneric point.
Prepare to die, Mr.
Statement
Justice.
this evidence.
I'm going to slap you and remove some of your health.
Yeah, the judge literally
For
walks
your
down
folly.
over to Apollo and just slaps him across the face.
You can tell whenever it's like super generic, it's just like, Your Honor, that's silly a thing to say. And he's like, really?
I don't see anything contradictory.
You sure about that?
Objection overruled. Take this slap. Try to think before you make accusations,
Yeah, no.
Mr. Justice.
Yes, sir. Save my progress. So I want to say now no. Wait, what?
I think return to title. I think you need to return.
Return to title.
Oh, yeah,
top
yeah.
right.
Sorry, right. Your
Ready,
progress
Dan?
has not been saved. Yeah, I know that, but...
That's the point.
I can't believe there's no load screen.
It's true. Okay.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't that, then... I mean, it could be the letter again.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
we
the
show
only thing I
them,
can think-
like, show them the mug because, like, well, it matters because of this. Like, I don't. The letter identifies the stamp. Objection.
Nope.
The witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor.
Ready for another slap, Mr. Justice.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is at this point the letterbox.
Is the letterbox again?
I feel like because that's the only thing because we can only do either the stamp, the coffee mug again, because those two tie each other to the poison.
Right.
And then the final thing is the letterbox.
Present. Objection.
No, the music didn't stop.
The witness's statement is clearly generic.
My hand is getting tired, Mr. Justice.
Wait, what statement did we give it on, though? Which statement did we give?
We did it. That's true. We did it on the new one that he adjusted. So maybe that's like this thing about the letter was put in the post from the studio, but I hardly think that matters.
I really think it has to do with the mug,
How many?
The statement before that thing.
Oh yeah, let's try the stamp.
Yeah,
It's just that, but I still don't. Okay, it might be right. It's just that it's weird though because it wasn't during the interview.
Well,
yeah.
Objection.
We saved.
Oh, the music.
Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence.
I thought that was going to work too.
The judge did not want to give that slap.
I know, I had no choice.
Wait.
Yep.
Is there one that we didn't press?
I might have, I mean, I'll try pressing this again. Letter was put in the post to the studio. Oh no, we did this already. Hiding the fact, I did press this. Right.
I said okay.
And then this next one about clearly was poison was his daughter, which I thought I also pressed. But I'll check it just to make sure. You say clearly, yeah, I did press this. Blah, 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 whatever, blah, 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 weird guy, yes, understood, blah, blah, blah.
I said but it did that. Okay.
How and why was he killed? If that coffee didn't kill him, I need to find what did. Question is where... Okay, so it's not going to be that. It was Vera who poured the coffee.
So that's the second statement?
Yeah.
Maybe you present the mug at some point?
What is the next one?
The coffee.
The only thing that touched Drew's lips was the mug.
Did we press this one?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
We did?
We did. You could do it again.
You're sure about that? Yeah, mint. This is the whole mint candies thing.
And then the objection more. Yeah. No.
Well, Mr. Justice.
Via root other than that coffee.
Ooh. But now, do we want to say I can prove it? Now, do we want to try the stamp?
I don't think anything's changed.
Because we tried to do that earlier.
Right. That was before we changed the testimony-ish.
Right.
Okay.
Press save before you do this?
Well, it doesn't really matter because proof is possible. Oh no, here's the thing with the...
Wait.
No.
Wait. That was... You understand what we need, yeah? Proof, air forehead, not possibilities.
Yeah, he said this already.
Oh, well, that's new music. Wait,
Hey,
is that
Shadowed.
music new?
That was
No, that's from our stream. Yeah.
That's from my stream. Yeah, so that's my announcement. Thanks for the tier 2 sub, Shadowed. I appreciate it. I'm ready to give you that proof.
Ooh.
Wait, this is different.
What did you say?
I have proof of the disappearing envelope.
I saw him writing a letter, I did.
Which was picked up by the mailman, I assume.
Okay, so this is all different, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, which means that envelope had a stamp on it. Oh, finally.
Oh.
A stamp. Ah.
As we all know, stamps come with dried glue on the back. Because this is
What's
from
glue?
15 years ago, before we had sticker. In order to use the glue, you have to wet it by licking the stamp. Oh, there's a lick of the
Finally,
stamp.
it took
I can't
long
believe you're
enough.
licking the
That's
stamp.
You know, you have to lick it.
Oh, okay.
No one worth talking to actually licks stamps in this day and age.
Objection! Even if you wanted to talk to him, you couldn't. He's dead after all.
Oh. Objection! Okay, so he licked the stamp. But wait! How does that explain the atroquinin on the rim of the coffee mug?
Objection! I re-object! If he licked the back of a poisoned stamp, the poison would get on his tongue, yes? What would then happen if he put the coffee mug to his mouth, These traces on the mug weren't the killer's doing. It was the other way around.
What?
The coffee mug didn't poison Mr. Misham. Mr. Bishop poisoned the coffee mug himself. He's guilty of murder of a coffee mug. I can't believe he killed a coffee mug.
Shut up. Order.
Hey, Tren, what's up?
Dane has subscribed.
The
man
OG,
himself.
the OJ,
Yes.
as it were. Thank you for the 48 months of support. Thank you, Shadow, and no problem. It's okay. And thank you, Tren, for the support.
Yes.
Sorry, you were saying order.
Order. But that does it?
Recall, if you would. Paint, if you would, a picture. Something in violets and bloom. Atraquinite is a slow-acting poison, yes? The poison entered his body when he put the stamp on that envelope. But his time wasn't up until the very moment he touched his lips to that cup of joe.
Yes.
You have something to add, Mr. Brushel?
That's okay, Shadow. Uh-oh, his nose is picking up another scent.
As I believe I mentioned earlier. Well, that's the thing, see? After he puts his letter in that envelope, Mr. Misham sat there, searching his desk drawer for something. Yes, a stamp, a so-called postage stamp, end quote.
He did not say that.
He did.
He did?
Yeah.
But you know, I don't seem to remember him ever finding one.
Maybe he'd just run out.
Incidentally, we searched the desk drawer at the scene of the crime. There were no stamps, not a single one.
Perhaps you were looking in the wrong place, Hair Rocker.
That does pose a problem. How will you prove that the stamp was coated with poison?
Actually, I'm glad no other stamps were found. It makes proving the stamp he used was poisoned possible.
Good show. Good show. You can't even prove there was a stamp at the scene in the first place.
Shut up. Well, let's hear what the defense has to say anyway. Where's your evidence that proves the existence of this poison stamp? And you better get it right, Mr. Justice, or I will slap you. You see that health bar?
I see. I see it's coming. The letter said to put the stamp. I think it's to take the stamp that was in the letter, but regardless. Tiny frame, take that! Yeah, music stopping.
Oh, that certainly is a cute little frame. And by little, I mean really little.
Oh, the judge is so great. It was on the victim's desk, Your Honor.
Oh,
Quite empty, as you can see for yourself.
I noticed that too during my inspection. So what?
Apparently you weren't as observant as you should have been. You see,
Bitch, you take that back.
when you saw this frame, it was missing something quite important.
missing something.
Yes, a pale bluish stain on the inside of the frame. Atraquinine residue!
What? What was it I told about this?
Oh, someone's
Oh,
sweating.
he's sweating.
Oh, sweating.
Oh.
The frame is only 2 inches square. The face of the frame is even smaller, maybe an inch wide at most.
You aren't saying.
I'm nodding, and then I'm saying, oh, but I am. Tell me, what fits in such a small frame? A commemorative stamp, perhaps? Commemorative stamp. I keep stamps in frames.
Shut up! Shut up! Order! The poison stamp was in this tiny, cute little frame.
Impossible.
Prosecutor Gavin.
Stop abusing the stand behind you.
Why would he put something like that on his desk? Don't tell me he had it there so he could commit suicide in the mood struck. If the mood struck.
That can make sense, actually.
You know, can I say something?
No.
All right.
Oh, go
No,
ahead.
say something.
I had a thought, see.
What, Mr. Brushel? And please stop jittering around like that.
Jittering
Now the
around.
game is making fun of its own animation.
The victim was a forger, right? There's a lot of money in that line of work. Forger forges friends, makes enemies too. End quote.
So the poison stamp might have been a murder weapon aimed at him. Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh, Rich. That's Rich! Leave the ridiculous flights of fancy to the Gavineer's song lyrics, please.
Finally, something we agree on.
The stamp was a murder weapon. Nonsense. Murder is a simple business. Who would go to such lengths? No one.
In this game?
Yeah.
Oh, I disagree.
Come on. Come again?
No, I'm just going to watch you sweat for a while. Recall, if you would, the victim's reclusive lifestyle. Drew Misham hid from the world. He clearly hid from his barber. He avoided meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail.
The mail.
That's right, Your Honor.
What?
Now, if you wanted to kill someone you couldn't meet, but you knew read letters, a stamp would be the perfect weapon.
Ridiculous. Where's your proof? I want proof. Show us evidence that this poison stamp was sent to him as a murder weapon.
I certainly will, right after I save. I'm so confident I will save right now. Okay, right. So, as we were saying, yes, total confidence. Sent him as a murder weapon. I might not have evidence per se, but things are finally starting to come together.
What is it, Apollo? Your fists are trembling.
I'm prepared to do a roundhouse punch to this whole court. I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it. I think I know how Mr. Misham was killed.
Well, fill us in, Mr. Justice.
A certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Misham the stamp of death.
The letter.
I assume that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that!
Yep,
Isn't
there it
this the envelope? The one from 7 years ago.
Think about the text of the letter again.
Mr. Schumer.
There were 2 pages in the envelope. This is page 1.
Oh, 2? Oh, 2 pages.
And this is page 2.
It's a lot, yes.
I want to draw your attention to one phrase in particular. Send in the clowns. There ought to be... No, send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. The enclosed stamp, Your Honor. That's what you were talking about, Tilted. You have exactly written out.
In other words, if I have this straight, the stamp, poison, on the stamp, lick, lick, gasp, end quote.
Now, what if he had done exactly as the letter asked?
He would sign the document, put it in the envelope, and put the stamp on it, right? Then he would put it in his letterbox.
15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing the letter. But the clock started ticking, and when the time came, he drew his last breath. And the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene.
Quite conveniently, thanks to the postal system.
Yeah, the postal system. I can't stand the postal system.
Oh, that's good.
Such a splendid imagination you have, Air Forehead. ... Let me confirm one thing with you, if I might.
Is it that we have 5 minutes left? Because I know.
So, this poison stamp was inside this envelope from 7 years ago, yeah?
It's very slow acting.
Is that what you'd have us believe? Really?
Postal system is a co-conspirator. Exactly, Trent. Well...
It is a little bit out of a stretch, but there's a possibility.
Yes, yeah. A very small possibility. How small, I wonder?
I'm not good at math.
A poison stamp in this envelope. A stamp that then became the murder weapon. How do you intend to prove this seeming coincidence?
Well, we've proved it like 5 times.
It was 7 years ago, and we don't even know who sent that letter.
And your answer is silence. I see. Very well. I move to.
Oh, I think this is the now. Okay, quick side note for those who wouldn't know about this. Early in the game, this guy's brother was the original attorney that Apollo Justice beat, and it ended up being that he was guilty of the crime that he had been prosecuting, and so he was sent to jail. And that was this dude's brother. No, it was this case was earlier, but the case originally was 7 years ago. I'm betting that's this guy. So, and I'm sure it's going to introduce it and be like to be continued. So who wants to take on?
Maybe I should, and then KP still playing the brother.
Yeah.
Or do we want, or maybe like Junior Arv hasn't had the opportunity to so much if she wants to go.
Trucy has been very quiet.
All right. Do you want to be?
Yeah, go ahead,
brother.
Sure.
Shows your deep voice.
It's not nice to pick on the. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that.
Fraulein.
It's not nice to pick on the Fraulein, Clavier.
Yep. That's him. What?
What?
Emma, wait. What the hell is that? What just happened
What
there?
weirdness?
Oh my
God. Are you kidding me?
Dang it, man. I wanted another roll.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, like my Christoph Gavin impression? Did I sound like him?
Wow.
Looked like him.
Baited. Don't quit your day job.
Don't you have a crime scene to be looking after, Fraulein Detective? Someone had to come dig you all out of this mess you're making of this case.
Mess?
You know, none of this would have happened if you trusted in science a little more. You can find out if that stamp was in that envelope easy. Here to explain yourself, Fraulein Detective! Glare at me all you want, but science is on my side. It's all in the residue, right?
That's right. The poison detection spray.
Shut up. Produce the red envelope at once. You can open it on the authority of the court.
Is she like standing on Brushel right now? Like, where is Brushel gone?
She kicked
like,
I like to think that she just punched him out, and now he's on the floor.
Oh, okay.
Spray detection reagent.
This is such a fun game.
And now we get to the real game.
Hold on.
Right there.
Quick.
I'm sorry, okay.
Well, would you look at that?
No mistaking it. That's atroquinine residue.
That's amazing. That's
The poison.
I don't believe it.
That is why you fail. Oh.
A murder weapon from the past. Now, 7 years later, it bears its fangs at last.
Its fangs
That
in the
rhymes.
stamp.
You should be a poet.
Absolutely outrageous! Tell me why?
Tell me why.
Why didn't this murder take place 7 years ago?
Well,
There's one possibility. Maybe Mr. Misham figured it out.
Figured what out?
He realized that the person who sent the letter wanted him dead. So he sent his reply with a different stamp.
And put his decisive evidence in a frame.
hold it. I don't know who said that. Oh.
You're still here?
It's an excellent question.
Can I make a statement here? On the record.
Well, hurry up.
Been on the record the entire time.
Seriously.
Guy.
And our session's about to end. Come on. Hurry up, Brushel. Whoa,
I-
razor tooth?
Spark Razortooth Brushel.
Razor tooth.
Claim this scoop as mine.
Oh my
Get out of
gosh.
here.
True mission killed in cold blood. By sender of 7-year-old letter. End quote. No, maybe something more succinct. Star falls after 7-year delay. End quote.
I'm waiting for that
Again,
gavel.
no gravity.
This guy's an idiot.
Meteors.
Yeah, there we go.
Shut up. Order. I see no room for further argument here. Though I admit, this is all coming as quite a shock. To think that the murder weapon reached his mouth after 7 years. Stamp his ticket straight to afterlife, end quote.
That's actually much better.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I think the witness is a bad influence on our judge.
Shut up.
Hey!
Sorry. It's not the same when I say it to you, Trucy. I see no need for further debate on this matter. The sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been our defendant.
Apollo? I think we just won.
I think we just won.
I also
Okay,
think
actually,
we
I
just-
think
I'm sorry.
I think we just won.
Very well. This court finds the defendant.
Whoa.
Oh, come on.
Dude. So annoying, man.
This is the bright future of our legal system.
Oh, that's right. We have to do the new system.
Prosecutor Gavin.
A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago? Tickets for Gaviner's show are invalid after 2 weeks.
But it doesn't make sense any other way.
It boggles my mind that so many people haven't noticed this.
Boggles.
There's a fatal contradiction in Air Forehead's claim.
A contradiction?
A poison stamp was placed in this envelope 7 years ago, whereupon it was framed until now. If that's the case, then why would Drew Misham have done what he did?
Yeah, I mean, that is an issue. Emma explained that. He must have realized it was poisoned.
Therein lies the rub. 7 years ago, the forger Drew Misham sensed a trap and put the stamp in a frame. I do not debate this, but this begs the question. Why, 7 years later, did he use that stamp on the night of his murder?
Ah.
Surely, you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Mission simply forgot?
Hey, look, 7 years, you know.
He put the murder weapon in a frame on his desk for 7 years and forgot. You expect us to believe he sprang the trap on himself?
Oh no, anime reversal. Whoa!
That's wow, yeah.
While I admit this is all quite shocking myself, it does seem highly unlikely that he would fall afoul of a trap that had been sitting on his desk for 7 years.
Apollo?
I don't think we're winning anymore.
Oh.
I'm glad to see we're all back in the real world now. Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you.
Objection! Okay, then how do you explain the poison stamp that was in this envelope?
The poison stamp. Where exactly is this poison stamp again? Have you brought it to court for us? I see no proof that such a thing ever existed.
Objection! What about the atroquinone residue, huh?
Oh, I agree. That seems to be atroquinone residue. But, Air Forehead, it's certainly no stamp.
Yeah, but...
Even if your precious poison stamp did exist, Drew Misham never would have used it. That is all.
Irk.
I think the case already-
We're in trouble.
Shut up! I believe we've come to a conclusion again.
Again.
Apollo, were we wrong the whole time? No.
I can't believe it. The poison traces match up. It can't be coincidence.
Shut up. I'd like to bring some closure to this issue sometime this year.
Yes,
I
please.
agree.
Mr. Justice,
Yes, Your Honor.
let's review the facts and see where we stand. Ah, nice background music. 7 years ago,
Some guy
Drew
next to them.
Misham received...
He's just jamming out.
Yeah.
He's got sunglasses on and DJ. He's just making, yeah.
I'm just figuring. And incidentally, we can. I'm figuring that like right after he gets done to this thing, like the court section ends. But if he keeps going for another 2 minutes, we'll just stop and we'll save it and continue next month. So on you go.
was a great idea installing this new court DJ. I'm a fan. 7 years ago, Drew Misham received a red envelope. There were traces of the poison atroquinine on the document inside that envelope. A similar trace was also found at the crime scene. On this tiny picture frame, the defense has indicated the possibility of a yellow envelope. An envelope that left the scene of the crime with the poison stamp on it.
Yes, but even if the envelope contained a poison stamp, and Drew Misham, knowing this, put it in a frame, he never would have used that stamp.
I'm afraid you're right. Which means there is a fatal flaw in the defense's case.
I haven't been on the wrong track this whole time, I'm sure of it. The traces of atroquinine, the envelope, the frame, and Drew Misham's mysterious death. They're all connected somehow.
Well, Mr. Justice, do you have a conclusion for us?
The defense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen that the logical outcome of the evidence makes no sense, which means that one of our clues must be a fake.
Ah, a fake clue. Fascinating. And if we find this fake, your wild fantasies will prove quite reasonable, yeah?
The fake clue that's thrown us off the poison's trail is none other than...
Ooh.
Oh.
Drew Misham himself.
Oh, we need to save. I feel like
Yeah,
a
yeah, we
perfect
should
save.
save.
Cliffhanger to continue next time.
Yeah, that's a good place.
I think.
That's gonna confuse us so bad,
only,
though.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only question is, will we remember?
No.
I
Like-
think so.
I
think
think
so?
we will.
Okay.
I say the homework for us next time we join is like rewatching the last 10 minutes of this episode.
Yeah.
You should do that before
Yeah,
you...
he just gives a recap, so.
No, yeah, before you start the stream, you should actually, like, watch it.
Watch that portion of it. All right. Well, that was eventful, everybody. We definitely had quite a few things go down. There was a lot about stamps and things that,
More
you know,
stamps.
the murder by mouth 7 years later and other disturbing such images that we had here. But we got through it, at least most of it, and at least the first portion of the case, in the inimitable Ace Attorney style. So I will start with the person on the bottom of the row. So there you go, KP. You've now seen much of the case version of Apollo Justice. How'd you feel about it? And where will the fine folks see you next before back here next month?
I'm having a blast. This thing is hilarious. And, well, okay. It's hilarious first and foremost because you guys are here, and I'm having a blast doing it with all of you fantastic folks. Little R, you were amazing. I'm sorry you couldn't get you more voices, but you were doing a fantastic job, and I'm so glad you were here. And I hope we can see you more on this too. Hopefully, especially now that summer is here.
It's summer, so next couple months.
Yeah,
you know.
we can always use we have space. You can add additional boxes.
Yeah, I think so.
You know?
I think so. Exactly. Just put you at the top. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But this was fantastic. I'm having fun, and I love how eclectic these characters are, and how wild some of this. It does get boring not boring. It gets like the repetitive nature of it. You're just like, okay, all right, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like
let's
go. Yeah.
But at the same time, that's, I think, the charm of it, and makes it funny and ridiculous, and kind of clearly distinguishes it from any actual case in the real world.
What do you mean? This is exactly as the law functions.
Spitting image of
Oh
the
yeah, I
American
can see.
court
Yeah,
system.
clearly based off my background.
I was going to say, you clearly
attest to
can
that.
see that. Yeah, right.
Yes, I can attest. But no, I'm having so much fun. As far as where you can see me in the next month, my goodness. Life's busy, y'all. Life's been very busy. And if you haven't been following me on Twitter or any of the other places, I am the biggest news in my life actually is I'm about to be a dad. And thank you.
Yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Oh,
we may or may not have been aware of this previously.
Yeah,
but,
I was gonna say.
I did not mention it
Okay.
until only a couple of days. I think last week is when I first was comfortable enough. But we are about to hit 32 weeks in. So next time around, we'll be
pretty much in the thick of it. At any moment, could be happening. So I will not know whether or not I'll be here or not, but I should be hoping to be. But after that, it's all you guys are gonna get bombarded with baby photos. That's all I'm gonna say. So prepare yourself.
Awesome.
You know, but yeah, outside of that, I have a couple other projects that are going to be like a pre-recorded stuff that are going to be coming out hopefully sometime soon. I have no idea when they're supposed to release. We still haven't recorded them yet, so that's going to be a lot of fun. That's kind of it for now. So as things progress, I'll tell you guys more. That's me.
Good stuff. Thanks, KP, as always, and yeah, congratulations again.
Thank you,
Moving right up on the column. Thank you, my daughter. I thank you for being Trucy. And for sorry about the head fake with, I was like, oh, it's a new guy. I was like, hey, what did you think?
Finally.
I like had for a minute. I'm like, I thought they lost their mind. I'm like, Capcom has finally collapsed. Like, what are you doing? And they're like, haha, I'm just joking. I'm like, oh, okay.
Like, man, finally another role.
Exactly. How did you feel about, because you've played the Arvocalist stuff like these kinds of games before. So how'd you feel about this case?
Yeah, I mean, I've played Trucy a bunch, and I find that although she is fun, she gets so annoyingly repetitive because she's just like, what's going on? I'm going to say this. I'm so funny because I'm dumb. And then you just get on with it. And then she just sits there. And so it gets to the point where I'm kind of like, Jersey, just be quiet, would you? But besides that, this is a very... Because the thing is, when we started connecting the dots, I was like, there's no way that... I understand that we think this makes sense, and it's a good idea, but did the people behind the... Because all the previous cases have not been as smart as this one.
Right.
So the idea that this is like, oh, this is a really good idea. Were they smart enough to come up with this idea, or is it just us thinking it's a good idea?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That was my thought. I really liked it, though.
You will probably see Little Arv here again. I think it's fair to say at least once, maybe twice more before the school year begins. In the process of doing that, you should also check out the shop that she's responsible for. And we will talk more about the amazing twist my arm to talk about my daughter. I will be happy to do that all the time. So thank you, sweetheart. Good stuff today. Zach, last but certainly not least, how did you feel about the continued machinations? First of all, wonderful judge work as always. How did you feel about the continued machinations and so forth of the case that we see before us today?
God, Brushel, good God.
Brushel as well.
Oh boy. Yeah. So that was it was good. It was great. I think we're starting to make some headway. I'm glad we actually got into the courtroom.
Yes.
There was an interesting little fake out with Emma and the one German brother.
Clavier,
so
no.
Why even?
I think is his name Gavin?
I think it's Gavin.
No.
Yeah.
I still understand the choice of that. Why even that needed to happen, but it happened.
Yeah, I didn't really get that. Unless it's a foreshadowing
little
thing.
Fake out.
Like, aha,
No, it's just because they want to laugh at me.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
So no, always a pleasure. I'm looking forward to when we get a new character on the defense end, so I don't have to
talk in this voice an entire time.
But the judge is always awesome. Keeping, as I said to Trent, keeping the tradition alive. Of the only reason why I do that is because that's how he did it. The maybe one or two times I ever was in that session with him. So yeah, no, having a great time, and the fine people will find me on this channel this Friday. I think is the continuation of Mysterious Peaks, and next month for Arvocalists and more things above and beyond that soon enough.
Good stuff, Zach. And as always, a pleasure to have the best voice team on Twitch. I am extremely fortunate for that to be the case. So, chat, can we get some congratulations? And most of all, congratulations to KP. And thanks to all three of the Arvocalists. You'll have Rem should be back with us next month. But can we get some love for the amazing Arvocalists, chat? And thank you all for being here. And I'm going to let the Arvocalists go, including my daughter, who needs to get to bed now. But thank you, everybody. Much love. Thank you, KP, Little Arv, and Zach. Great work today, everybody. And
thanks, everyone.
Bye for now.
All right. You guys were fantastic. Good night, y'all.
All right. And that is going to do it for... Whoops. Let me actually turn the camera on. For today, a very busy day of streaming, but it was a lot of fun. And I hope you folks enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy it, I hope you will support the channel in the ways that we've discussed before. Please make sure, if you have not done so already, please make sure to follow the channel. Check out our YouTube at !ArvTube, Discord !ArvCord, Twitter !ArvTweets, website arvanelleron.com, financially !ArvShop, the Patreon is !ArvTreon. That just dropped slightly for here. So please support the Patreon because it really does help and it really does make a difference. So if you can jump on board and support, that really is helpful. And of course, subbing and resubbing to the channel helps as well. So please spread the word about the channel and the show most of all. Let people know about it and have them come in and see why we have, I think, the best community on Twitch and what we are doing here and kind of building and growing that community. No, it's no problem, Shadowed. It's fine. It was funny because in the middle of it, there was this da-da-da-da and like very dramatic thing about the Patreon. And then I'm like, wait, why did the number just drop? So, oh, no, don't worry about that, Arudinel. I'm saying this as a global statement to people in general. So like, you know, that's not to anyone specific. It's not targeted, exactly. But thank you so much to all of you lovely folks for supporting in that way. If you haven't already done so as well, don't forget on the book side of things, ! First of all, good night, my sweet. I'm going super fast. ! Icarus for my graphic novel. ! Library for Tales and Tomes in the Forbidden Library. My 5e adventure and source book from Alligator Alley Entertainment. ! Gray Shade, my Gray Shade novel from Mathis Arts. That'll also get you to where you can pre-order ! Renegade. Actually, never mind the exclamation point with that. Renegade, which is coming out next month. Heretic comes out next year. Tabletop role-playing game by Brendan O'Brien at the end of the year from Alligator Alley. And of course, the audiobook by one Mr. Trent Sparks, the royalty that we have in chat right now, that is also available. Good night, my sweet. That is also available, and you can get that right now. Exactly what? You can get that right now at that link. So please go check that out. Finally, as always, ! BLM, Black Lives Matter. Important to affirm and assert, he said as he slides back into frame. Affirm and assert the significance and importance of Black lives. ! Help Now, the World Health Organization page on suicide prevention. Important to reach out to others when you need help and reach out to others when they need help as well. And ! Ukraine, Ukraine, to help the people of Ukraine as they fight back against an illegal and illegitimate war with bravery and courage. This is our chance to stand up not only for them, but to send a message that we will do so for others in the future. Otherwise, I'm going to see you folks back here on Friday for Expedition from the Mysterious Peaks, as previously mentioned, and then on Saturday for Eberron, Oracle of War. Thank you all for being with me for a lot of the stream tonight, a lot of the stream all during the day. Thank you so much to my wonderful mods. Thank you to Arudinel, to Drew, to Shadowed, to Triffid. Thank you so much to my wonderful Patreon supporters and subscribers, Arudinel, Drew, Shadowed, Triffid, Tilted, Crit Twitch, Mrs. Dunsel, Trendane, and Wenchkin. Thank you so much to my wonderful viewers. Thank you to Brian, to Dragon, Dragon Spear, who is apparently lurking because Dragon's a mod, to Gamers Lounge, Lisa Bay, Jagtris, KP, of course, Otakin, Porquito Show, what's up, Porquito, and Stalio, third protocol activated. And especially, of course, tonight, thank you so much to my wonderful Arvocalists. We'll see Rem Alternus back next month, but for the folks who came today, thank you so much to Zach Clay, thank you so much to KP, again, congratulations on the imminent arrival, KP, and thank you so much to my amazing daughter, Little Arv. That's going to do it for me. I'll see you folks back here on Friday, and until then, everyone, please be good to each other. Talk to you all soon. Honk.